The following is an Ellwood City Sports production.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure that I present to you the pride of Ellwood City, your Lincoln High School Marching Blue Band. The Blue Band is under the field direction of drum majors Lila Fox and Peyton Confer. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your hats for playing of our national anthem, followed by the Lincoln High School alma mater. National March, Stars and Stripes Pride.
Welcome, students, parents, alumni, and friends to Lincoln High School.
Welcome, students, parents, alumni, and friends to Lincoln High School's 69th annual homecoming festivities. Thank you for joining us tonight as the spirits are high and our football team is poised for a victory against the Western Beaver Golden Beavers. Stepping across the field now is a small representation of the fine young women who make up the senior class this year. And at halftime, one of these ladies will be crowned Lincoln High School's homecoming queen. Let's meet the 2025 homecoming court. First up, Erica Barlow, escorted by her father Eric, is the daughter of Eric Barlow and Amy Murdoch. Erica is the captain on the varsity cheering squad and was named a 4-time All-American by UCA. She belongs to Senior High Student Council, is a member of LHS yearbook staff, president of peer leadership, vice president of Save Club, and secretary of our senior class. Erica is a high honor and honor roll student who is also a member of our school's chapter of the National Honor Society. She has received the Class of 2026 Leadership Award the last 3 years and was named the Lions Club Student of the Month for September. Upon graduation, Erica plans to attend Slippery Rock University to study early childhood and special education. Miss Erica Barlow. Next up, Miss Kennedy Coonfair, escorted by her father, Josh. Kennedy is the daughter of Josh and Aaron Coonfair. Kennedy is co-captain of the cross-country team and captain for the track and field. She belongs to the Save Club, is treasurer of Senior High Student Council, the president of Ski Club. She also helps the Run Club. An honor and high honor roll student, Kennedy plans to attend Youngstown State University upon graduation and major in marketing. Miss Kennedy Kuhnfair. Next up, Miss Ava Dossman. Ava is escorted by her father, Andrew, and is the daughter of Rochelle Spagnola and Andrew and Nicole Dossman. Ava plays varsity softball and is also lettered in track and field. She is a member of Senior High Student Council and the Ski Club. An honor and high honor student, Ava plans to attend a 4-year university to study biology and pursue a career in the medical field. Miss Ava Doshman. Next up, Miss Kylie Levere, escorted by her father, Chad. Kylie is the daughter of Chad Levere and Melissa Levere. Kylie is captain on the varsity cheering squad and has been named a 3-time All-American by UCA. She is also captain on the varsity softball team and is lettered in tennis. Kylie is a member of Senior High Student Council, Club Hope, Spanish Club, Peer Leadership, and Art Club. She serves as the Community Outreach Co-Chair for Save Club and is Secretary of our school's chapter of the National Honor Society. Upon graduation, Kylie plans to attend Penn State University and study forensic science. Miss Kylie Levere. Next up is Ava Lucarelli, escorted by her father, Brian. Ava is the daughter of Brian and Jennifer Lucarelli. Ava is captain on the varsity volleyball team, where she was an all-section selection. She is also secretary of Senior High Student Council, treasurer of Save Club, and is a member of Peer Leadership, where she received a Sophomore Leadership Award. Ava is an honor and high honor roll student and has been inducted into our school's chapter of the National Honor Society. Upon graduation, Ava plans to attend Slippery Rock University to major in exercise science, minor in business, and pursue a doctorate in physical therapy. Miss Ava Lucarelli. Next up is Mia Meredith, escorted by her father, Douglas. Mia is the daughter of Douglas and Michelle Meredith. Earlier this year, Mia was named the second runner-up in the 2025 Distinguished Young Woman of Lawrence County pageant. She is a captain of the girls' varsity tennis team and is also a varsity cheerleader who was named a 2-time All-American by UCA. She has additional letters in softball and girls basketball, where she received the Coach's Award for sportsmanship, hustle, coachability, and attitude. Mia belongs to the French Club, Spanish Club, Kids 2 Club, Senior High Student Council, is on the Community Outreach Co-Chair for Save Club, and is Vice President of our school's chapter of the National Honor Society. She has been recognized with the Perfect Attendance Award, High Honor Roll, the American Legion Leadership Award, Society of Women Engineers Award, and was named Athlete of the Month by AIR Physical Fitness and Therapy. Upon graduation, Mia plans to attend Duquesne University or the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill to pursue a doctorate in pharmacy. Miss Mia Meredith. Next up is Gianna Paisley, escorted by her father, John. Gianna is the daughter of John and Nicole Paisley. Gianna is captain on the varsity cheering squad and was named a 3-time All-American cheerleader by UCA. She is president of the Senior High Student Council and belongs to the Save Club, French Club, and Peer Leadership, where she received the Sophomore Leadership Award and honor. Gianna is an honor and high honor roll student. Upon graduation, Gianna plans to attend school to earn an associate's degree and pursue a career as an ultrasound technician. Miss Gianna Paisley. Next up, Emma Shafley, escorted by her father, James. Emma is the daughter of James and Tracy Shafley. Emma is a member of the varsity volleyball team, Senior High Student Council, the LHS yearbook staff, and the secretary of the Save Club. An honor and high honor roll student, Emma plans to attend Bella Capelli Cosmetology School to pursue a career as an esthetician. Miss Emma Shafley. Next up, Miss Sydney Woodhead. Sydney is escorted by her father, Craig, and is the daughter of Craig and Danielle Woodhead. Sydney is a varsity cheerleader and UCA All-American. She belongs to Senior High Student Council, is treasurer of the senior class, and president of Save Club. An honor and high honor roll student, Sydney plans to attend a 4-year college to study accounting. Miss Sydney Woodhead. And finally, our foreign exchange student, Annalie Rosenthal, escorted by her host pap, Harry Reisinger. Emily is from Germany and is being hosted by Alexis Reisinger. She is the daughter of Claudia Rosenthal and Oliver Rockar. In Ellwood, she's a manager for the marching band and belongs to the History Club, French Club, Ski Club, Senior High Student Council, and plans to participate in Lincoln's spring musical production as well. When she studied in Malaysia, Amelia was selected to perform at a special music and culture festival in Bangkok. In Germany, she enjoys acting and singing opera at her local theater and is a member of the Women's Choir in LGM, a school that concentrates on music studies. She was selected to represent her school in a poetry recital and has received awards for her French studies, performing arts, and acting, as well as a certificate for outstanding grades in her main subjects. Emily enjoys archery and horseback riding. When she returns to Germany, Emily plans to spend 2 more years abroad in Dubai and eventually come back to the U.S. to attend college for finance, business, and economics. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our Lincoln High School 2025 homecoming court. Stay tuned for our halftime festivities when we will crown our newest homecoming queen. What a beautiful night for homecoming. Thad Sturgeon alongside Brad Windhorst with Dakota Marshall on camera. Brad, we got a great night, and I tell you, Brad, we get to know these students here at the school over the years, and we get to know all these girls out here, and not even the ones that don't play sports and cheer. What a great group. We say it every year, and we're just they make our city proud. Folks, we're going to take a quick time out here, and we'll be back for appears to be a shortened version pregame show.
The following is an Ellwood City Sports production.
Two to the right, Quick pass out there to Dom Hogue. He gets up to the 50-yard line. He's got blockers down. He goes, makes a man miss. He's got the first down. Does a little wiggle all the way. He's still on his feet. He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! And off the Partridge. Tucks it in the left hand. He's up the left side, and he's going to go all the way. At the 10, the 5, touchdown! 4th and 15. It's all down to this. Back to pass. Give and chase. Throws it out there, and he's hit. He's short of the line again. He's short of the line again.
Free kick. Nice header by Keystone Oaks. But taken there by Huth.
Shot on net.
And
It's a goal!
Puts it up, and down it goes. That's the game! Playoff win for the Wolverines. Inbound to Caleb Serving. Yes! It's gone! Shoots it. It's over! The boy is over! The Wolverines win!
There, the left side field, chasing his left fielder. It's going to go all the way out of the ballpark. A home run. Contact there, deep, sending back the center fielder up to the fence line. A base hit there for Luke Raleigh. She will turn and go to third on the triple.
Hi, friends, and a very pleasant good evening, and what a beautiful night for football it is here at Helling Stadium, Ellwood City, Pennsylvania. Thad Sturgeon alongside Brad Windhorst, Dakota Marshall on camera. Ellwood City Sports bringing you Thunder. As we got a little blackout night here. They break out the black unis for the night as the Wolverines will be taking on Western Beaver. Western Beaver coming in undefeated with a record of 6-0, 3-0 in conference play. Elwood City 3-3, 2-1 in conference play. Wolverines off a tough loss last week to New Brighton, 14-12. We'll get into more of what Western Beaver, but before that, here comes the Ellwood City Wolverines. Carrying that American flag is number 54 of the Wolverines. And that is number 54, as I said, Craig Patterson. And the EC flag carried by number 1, senior Dom Hogue. Western Beaver will be making their way onto the field to the left of your screen here shortly. As I said, Brad, Wolverines a tough loss last week, 14-12 against a New Brighton team that was much better than what we thought they were going to be, and a team that was much more healthier than what we thought they were going to be. Western Beaver coming in with a pretty handy win over crosstown rivals Riverside within a 48-19. Really right now to this point in the season, Brad, as we want to talk about Western Beaver, they're scoring a lot of points.
Yes, they are.
They're scoring in their first 6 games, averaging 40.8 points per game. Their opponents, 12.3. That's how you get to a 6-0 record. Conversely, the Wolverines scoring 19.3 points per game, giving up 18.6 points per game. That's how you get to being a 3-3 record. A lot riding on the line on the lines here tonight, being a conference game. Western Beaver sitting there all the way on top, and then you got a log jam after that. And tonight there may be some separation start to come through, as we'll talk about some of the out-of-town scores as well.
That definitely one thing that is for sure clear tonight is whoever wins tonight's game will be officially in first place in the section, and on top of it have the one-up on everybody else. If they would win out or even just lose one game, they still could share and ultimately take the section matchup. Again, folks, on your screen are the standings. Right there is Western Beaver undefeated at the top, 3-0. A logjam at 2-1. Ellwood City, Riverside, Beaver Falls, and a New Brighton Freedom Mohawk still available. That Mohawk team pulling the victory against Union last week is still a possibility. It's a long shot. It starts tonight. Mohawk versus Freedom. New Brighton will take on My apologies. I did it wrong again. Mohawk and New Brighton, Freedom and Riverside's a big one, and then Beaver Falls and Union. I think that honestly is a really big matchup because that Beaver Falls team is riding the high of 2 wins in a row. Yes, they're 2-4, but 2-1 in section play. A bunch of things to happen in the next 2 or 3 weeks for the MAC Conference.
As I said, the Wolverines coming in with a 3-3 record. As we have the captains out there on the field right now for the Wolverines. Looks like senior Declan O'Brien, senior quarterback Tyler Smiley, and Tristan Reynolds. Tristan went down here at the Mohawk game with a knee. He was up here in the press box, feeling pretty good. Unfortunately, his season's over, so he'll be getting surgery here in the upcoming weeks.
And then on the flip side for the New Bright Lines, number 65, Blaine Crislip, 59, Logan Kane, number 8, that being Wyatt Sparbaney, a name that we're going to talk about a lot, and number 22, that being Carter Marshall. And it looks like
Western Beaver won the toss and has elected to put that high-powered offense on the field first. We talk about that high-powered offense of Western Beaver, and lucky for us, about 10 minutes ago, the sun went away, and it got 10 degrees
yes, it did.
cooler in here, and my notes got sweat all over them already from earlier. So, but Brad, you got the series stats here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Last year, that was a thriller of a game, as Ellwood won that game 26-20, one of the best games we called all year. Western Beaver afternoon. They got lights now. We won't be there Saturday afternoons anymore. All-time series. We've only played this team 6 times since 1979. Wolverines with 2 wins. One of those was an overtime win back in 2018. You're calling this the BLT series. May I ask why?
Yeah, the Beaver Lawrence County Teams series. There is unfortunately no good way to put it, but if we're talking about keys to the game, well, leave it to the Beaver. Big thing for Ellwood, stop Barbaney. On the flip side, if you're the Golden Beavers, get Barbaney going. Let's get physical, the trenches. Got to give credit. Western Beavers' line is really big. And the dark side of the moon, it's EC Blackout here on Ellwood City Sports.
Yes, Blackout. They started that here 2 years ago. Oh, run up and the kick. We're ready to play some football. Taken there and fallen on at the 34-yard line and that was number 22, Carter Marshall there with the recovery. You'll notice that Aiden Huth has a lower body injury, and he will not be doing the kicking tonight. And on those kickoffs there was Daylon Curie, and tonight Daylon is sporting the number 5. So here comes the Western Beaver Golden Beavers. And we're just going to call them Western Beaver for the rest of the night, or the Beavers, because a little double action there. And we're going to talk about Amari Marshall coming in. They're not throwing the ball a lot, and this time a big time TFL tackle for a loss. Mr. Drake Davis, Drake coming in there, his 6th tackle for the loss on the year. What a great way for Coach Bradley to start this game. As the handoff that was to Sparbaney and loss. Sparbaney, Brad, averaging 13.1 yards a carry. Whew. Now, they had some blowout games there that I'm sure they had some other people running the ball toward the end, but Sparbaney, he knows how to run that ball. That's a 2nd and 13, ball on the 31. Hand off to number 8. He's going to get tackled for a loss.
Number 9.
Sparbaney, number 9 in there, and that is Mr. Colton Gullo. Had the big catch last week, makes the big tackle in the 2nd play of the night. 2 plays, lose 5 yards to the Beavers. It's now 2nd and 15. Man, if you're the Wolverines, you're loving this. I said, Brad, Marshall's out there. He's only passed 45 times in 7 games. You're not going to see him throw the rock a lot. And not many interceptions, so.
And if they do, it's going to go deep.
He's back to pass this time.
It's going to go deep.
And there he goes, down in the middle, finds his man open, and gobbled up quickly there. And 33 was
just 3.
Just 3. I'm sorry. Avon Presley, that's his 7th catch of the year. He averages 17.7 yards. And Tyler Amico, number 3, is in there. He needed 15, got 11, brings up a 4th down and 4. Folks, hope you caught the pregame festivities for the beautiful homecoming court. Stick around at halftime, where we will have the fortunate honor of announcing the 69th homecoming queen. And here now to punt, back doing number the 1. Punting is number 1, Aiden Vula.
1-1. That will be Dom
High
Hood.
kick not real far.
Woo.
You got to pay attention. Man, that was lucky for the Wolverines. It's going to be down there at the 38-yard line. So a 21-yard punt by Vula, and the Wolverines will shut up shop. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Quick comment there about Aiden Vula. His identical twin brother, Nathan Vula, number 11. Unfortunately, we won't see him on the field tonight. He broke his ankle in the first game. So, juniors, Nathan's told me before the game he'll be back next year, so his identical twin brother and him can line up for the Beavers. Here's Tyler Smiley. Hand off. Richard Curtin knifes his way through there. Gets a couple.
Gets a push.
That's a lot of white shirts, but his buddies in the black pushed him a little bit further. And a nice pickup there on 1st down of about 5 yards, brought down by a host of Beavers. And Brad, the Wolverines lost some of that effectiveness last week, that 5 to 7 yards on 1st down, and they need to be able to do that tonight. Here's Smiley. They jump, but they get back in time. Smiley, handoff Curtin this time. Meets some resistance, but keeps the pile moving. And that's going to move the sticks.
Yep.
That's going to be a 1st down. And that's like getting 2 yards and working for 3 more to get 5. Ball right at midfield at the 50-yard line. 2 carries for Richard Curtin. He's got 10 yards on the night. The first down of the evening for the Wolverines.
And so far, the line of scrimmage right now, the trenches being won by the Wolverines.
Yep, but we'll get into some of that meat on the line as the game progresses for the Beavers. There's a handoff to Curtin. There's his way up through. He's down all the way down to the 40-yard line. And a nice run there. Another 1st down. Let's move the sticks. Number 7 in there, the quarterback as well. Amari Marshall with the stop. Going to give him 11 yards that time? Yep. We're going to give him down to the 39-yard line. So nice running here by Richard Curtin. And give that starting line of the Wolverines, throw them a little bit love in there as Eli Moore. Great to see Eli out there. He went out the game last week, fought back through it. Here's the handoff. Curtin this time going to dig to the left a little bit. Carries 2 guys on his back. He's down to the 33. Number 7 again, Marshall in there with the tackle. But great to see Eli Moore back out there along with Vinnie Curie and Nick Condell, the guards. Drake Davis and Craig Patterson doing the dirty work as the tackles for the front line of the Wolverines. And I tell you what, right now, Brad, we got 4 plays.
4 carries, 28 yards, a 7 average.
Yeah, we'll take that all night if you're a Wolverines fan. 4 minutes already gone. Smiley, the shotgun. There's.
Yep, that's going to be offsides.
We'll take 5 yards the easy way, says Drake Davis.
I like the flags tonight. They are orange flags and pink flags. Yeah, you are right. They are pink for breast cancer awareness. So encroachment against the defense there, and that's an easy 5.
For the first penalty of the night. That's one thing the Wolverines have done better at as the season has gone along with the penalties.
And that's an auto 1st down. It's an automatic 1st down there for Ellwood, and they continue to move under 8 minutes.
I'm sorry, it was 2nd and 5, and they got it.
Yep. Nice way to start. Basically 5 plays and 3 first downs.
So here come the Wolverines. 1st and 10, ball to 28. Handoff this time to Frisk. And not much running room there for Frisk. His number 8, Wyatt Sparbaney, came up there and met him with a full head of speed. Oh, Brandon Mayo, number 5?
Yes, sir.
They said number 9.
Yep. So we've had 3 different spotters give us 3 different. Frisk gets 1 yard on the carry, going to bring up a 2nd down and 9. So this time, Smiley up under center. This time goes back to pass, looking down the field for Dom Hogue. Touchdown! Oh, no, out of bounds. Out of bounds. It looked good. But
So
that was a right call by the official.
Yep.
You looked up and his foot was on the white line, which sadly for the Wolverines is out of bounds. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 for the Wolverines.
Give credit to Tyler Smiley. He had to float that one. In coverage was number 3, Avon Presley. He was there. If that ball was anywhere short or had no air underneath it, it's picked and it may be going the other way. Give credit to Tyler.
That's one thing the Wolverines, 25% on 3rd downs. They would love to improve that. 15 of 60 on the year.
2 down territory.
3rd down and 9. There's a handoff. Curtin, at this time, he got gobbled up in the backfield. Well played there by number 55 of the Beavers. 54?
44.
44. Caden Seymour.
I say 55 made 55. The initial hit.
Yeah, I'm going to give
44 finished it.
I know you're Mr. Official.
We are not on the same page
Brad,
yet.
I know you've been distracted this week. I know you've been terribly distracted with what's it called? I Want to Be a Showgirl or something by Taylor Swift. I'm sure you've been busy listening to that the last couple of days. I thought about you.
Keep saying that to yourself.
So let's try to focus here, Brad. It's 4th and 11, guys. Back to pass to Smiley. Steps up in the pocket. And he's going to get gobbled up and taken down. Never had a chance to Smiley on that one. We talked about the line. 33 was in
60
there.
60 as well, yep.
Is got in there.
And we don't have a 33. We just talked about that pregame show.
So we'll try to get that. Number 33, I saw it too. But, folks, that's a 4th down that did not get converted. We saw that a lot last week. And the sad part is that, those are happening. That one wasn't in the red zone. It was 8 yards away from it. So Beaver setting up shop now. No harm, no foul. Hand off there to Sparbaney. Tries to go out the outside. Makes a man miss. Gets a blocker. He's going to pull that head of steam. He's down the left sidelines. He's got one man to beat. He's at the 20, 15. That's how you get a 10-yard average, Brad. Took that ball from the 32-yard line all the way down to the 10-yard line. Wow, 58-yard run for Sparbaney. I thought he was going to get nicked in the backfield, but could not quite get him. It's going to set up 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Sparbaney gets space. He's going to make you pay, and he did on that play for the Wolverines. The keeper, up the middle goes Marshall. Push the Powell forward. Going to get about 3 yards.
Number 8, I believe.
8 and 50. So Cameron Mills and P.J. Dubois combining there.
So going to bring up a 2nd down. And, man, that really hurts. Boy, the Wolverines are averaging 7 yards a carry. They get down there, and, you get a 2nd and 9. And then you get the catch out of bounds. And this high-powered offense, running offense of Beaver, 2nd and 8. You're going to keep it. Zigs and zags, weaves his way through. Touchdown! Amari Marshall with the keeper. Zigged and zagged his way into the end zone at the 5-minute mark. And that's going to be a Beavers touchdown to make the score 6-0. A 2-play drive, Brad.
Yep. Now you get out in space. You let your athletes get out in space, and a 5-6 yard gain quickly turns into 58, and you finish it off with Marshall. 2 carries there to get in the end zone.
I see Vula is holding. Did you see the kicker number?
Yep, that is Noah Schweikert, number 24.
All right, Schweiker. There's the kick, and it is good. The score is 7-0. We're going to take a timeout and be right back. Welcome back, folks, as Western Beaver drove the ball 66 yards on 2 plays to make the score 7-0. And here's the run-up and the kick by Noah Schweikert back to receive. Wolverines high end-over-end kick. Dom Hogue's going to take it about the 23-yard line. Got a little room up the sideline. Zigzags, puts his way through there. And a nice return, made something out of nothing, did Dom Hogue. And gets the ball out to the 37-yard line. 15-yard return there for Dom Hogue as Seymour hits him out of bounds. So Brad, you're sitting there, you're Coach Bradley. You had some momentum on that first drive, but stalled out inside the 30. had tried one pass play, well, tried two officially, and with the one sack. So Smiley with Curitan to his right. 2 wide out, short field left. Back to pass to Smiley. Got a little time this time. It's dragged. Oh, and down he goes. Not giving up on the play was 55. Damian Lutton, the junior, 6'0", 245. Got Smiley by the ankles, and he just had nowhere to go but down to a knee. That's 2 plays in a row now offensively for the Wolverines that ended up in a sack. That time a big-time loss of about 7 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 17.
I'm just glad Tyler Smiley got back up, because when you grab at the ankle like that, that's just a twist waiting to happen.
You can go down so awkwardly. I'm kind of
so lucky.
Lived I forget the rest.
Fight another day.
Yeah, there it is. Smiley, Curitan gets dragged down. Curitan did not have the ball. That was Smiley on the keeper.
Yep.
And he tried a little, I don't want to call it trickery. It sure looked like they were going to Curitan, but Smiley got it, and he only got about 2 yards.
He actually got back to the line of scrimmage, actually.
Yep. So 3rd and 17. We've talked about third downs being an issue for the Wolverines, and being a 3rd and long does not make it any easier.
Do you have the defensive sheet? This right here.
Yep.
Check who the 4th lineman is, defensive lineman for Western Beaver. Who's right beside 55.
Oh, defensive lineman?
Yeah, check that next play.
Yep. Back to pass to Smiley. Rolling out to his right. Finds a man, and that's number 4. Dom DiNucci picks up nice yardage on the gain. Not enough for the first down. Going to be about a yard or 2 short.
So pick up about 15, taken down there by number 5, Braden Mayo. So number 33 should be
60.
Yep, that's one. That's how I'm going to take that.
We'll find out at halftime to be sure. We're going to call him Aiden Hall. Good call, Brett. Huge 4th down here. Wolverines 0 for 1 on 4th down tonight. Watch the quick count here, or try to get him off sides. 4th and 2, ball on a 46. Smiley trying to draw him off sides. Western Beaver. They look like they want to go.
4.
3 seconds on the play clock. And I think Coach Bradley is happy to go and take the 5-yard penalty for delay of game, hoping that he would catch him to jump off sides, because they got one off sides already, and there was a play 2 plays ago. I don't know if you noticed it, but that left side of the line, they were borderline guessing the count, and they almost guessed it wrong.
They almost jumped again, but they luckily held back.
Yep. So on the 4th and 7, after the 5-yard penalty,
Daylon Curry back to punt.
Back to receive. Good snap. He had pressure coming, and that's going to take an Ellwood City bounce, and it does get down there at the 29-yard line. As number 14 for the Wolverines, Nick Dolster, was there. So setting up shop again. That ball's going to be right at the 30-yard line. So a 31-yard punt by Daylon. Got about 10 of that on the roll. So 3:10 remaining here, 7-0 in favor of the Beavers in the early going. And what a beautiful sunset. Can you catch that quick, Dakota? All right, get back to the game. I'm sorry. I saw like 3 people taking pictures of it. There's a handoff to number 8. Sparbane makes the man miss up the right side, goes through 2 Wolverines, 3 trying to drag him down, still on his feet, can't get him down, and they finally ride him down at the 12-yard line. 8 Wolverines had their chance at him, but Sparbane is down on the ground right now. Western Beaver faithful not wanting to see that. Nobody wants to see anybody injured. But there is a flag back at the 50. We'll wait to see what that is. It is against Western Beaver, but the more concern right now is Sparbane down there on the ground in obvious discomfort.
Discomfort, yes. So see where they spot this. It's going to be a spot foul.
Go ahead and do that, Brad, but the trainers are obviously looking at the junior running back, Wyatt Sparbane.
So they said they advanced to the 38 when the flag, I believe, occurred. Yep, so they're taking it from the 38, and then the penalty at the end.
So, but hey, you catching that coming off the field, Dakota. Sparbaney walking off the field in his own power, and I was trying to really see what they were working on, and I can't give you a definitive answer. How about that? Good word, definitive.
So the first down and 12 now, back to the 28.
Explain that, Brett. Well,
yeah,
that was a spot foul down the field, a holding 10 yards back from the spot of the foul. So a 1st and 12 now. That's just something you don't see every day. Yeah. A 1st and 12. Ball on the 28-yard line. Now remember, Sparbaney is out for a play.
At least, yeah.
I'm trying to.
Number 3 is going to be in the backfield. That's Avon Presley.
Yep, he has 6 carries so far this year.
Yep.
And play clock's down to 0.
Yeah, it is 0, so timeout maybe.
But I'm going to question the.
Wow, they're going to say delay of game.
Yep, that's what they call it.
Okay, so no timeout, no nothing, delay of game.
So that odd 1st and 12 now becomes a 1st and 17.
Well, this is an interesting way to start the game off. It's October, so it is a Halloween month, I guess, but what an interesting way to start this first quarter.
Yes, it is. So now here come the Beavers, 1st and 17, ball in the 23. Remember, Sparbaney had that long run, but came back. Here's going to be a pass. Looking down the field. Gives chase. Just launches up there. Got a man. Oh, just off the fingertips. He's going to think about that one tomorrow at breakfast. Carter Marshall just off his fingertips. Wide open. There's probably nobody within 7-8 yards around him. And Marshall's throw just a little too tall. I think Marshall was actually surprised as he was scrambling down there to see Carter Marshall, a senior. Amari Marshall, remember, he's just a freshman. They might know each other. We'll find out if they're brothers or not. That's something to remember, Brad. This quarterback for Western Beaver, just a freshman coming in here. 2nd and 17. Marshall goes back. Almost. It's going to be intercepted by Daylon Curry. He goes down the sidelines, still on his feet.
Down about the 10-yard line.
The 7-yard line. As the trip drill was intact, Daylon, I don't know who initially tipped it. I thought he was going to intercept it. Went up in the air, two black jerseys there. Daylon gets it. My, how the turntables have turned. First turnover of the game and sets up Wolverines 1st and goal. I'm going to say that 6-7 yard line, Brad. And you just wonder, that Sparbaney injury, how that's maybe changing some of the offense.
Yep.
Mind of Ron Busby, of the head coach of the Beavers. $1:53 remaining. 7-0 Western Beaver. Smiley under center. Tries to drive his way forward, and he's going to fall forward. They're going to give him about 1.5 yards. Going to be marked right at that 5-yard line. Officially, it's going to be this.
And Atkins with the tackle there, so number 9, Jalen Atkins. It's going to be a pickup of 1 on the play.
So 2nd and 5, minute 28 remaining. Golden opportunity now for the Wolverines to get this score, or get their first score of the night. Handoff, Curtin, shake and bake, makes a man miss, gets it right down there to the 1-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd and goal. I want to think that was Amari Marshall in there, and Braden Mayo in there as well. Big 3rd down here, Brad. 2-down territory. Remember, the kicker for the Wolverines is on the shelf tonight. Handoff, touchdown! Richard Curtin into the end zone for the 1-yard TD run. Points off of turnovers, Brad. We talk about the importance of it, and Richard Curtin and that offensive line of the Wolverines made them pay there as he finds his way into the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the season.
And it looks like it will be Daylon Curry and Dom Hoag's show here for PATs.
Yes, he's going to do the. I thought they might be looking at going for 2
maybe
as the evening goes on, but here's Daylon Curry, the senior, known for his receiving capabilities. This time
offsides,
and
now you may want to go possibly 2.
Encroachment, yes, they are going to call
And they're
against
going to
Beaver.
go for 2.
And here comes Tyler Smiley, Richard Curitan back in. As you said that, Brad, Coach Brad Lee
it was quick.
looked right down the line, and Tyler Smiley, Richard Curitan knew exactly what to do. So the 2-point conversion now after the penalty. Penalties are probably about 5-1 here so far, and Wolverines kind of their penalty was expected to lay a game. Big play here, Brad. 7-6 Wolverines behind. Richard Curitan trying to drive his way in there. Can he get
Second
the push? Get the push?
I don't think so.
No, they're going to say it was denied. I didn't think he initially had gotten it, but I thought that extra push was not going to be able to quite get it done. So at 54 seconds, it's 7-6 in favor of Beaver. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Wolverines 6-yard drive, 4 plays, get her into the end zone. They missed the 2-point conversion. It's 7-6. Here's the kickoff, and takes it to the outside is Presley. Presley puts on the brakes, speeds it back up, and finally gets right out of bounds. But a flag came in from halfway across the field. As Presley with the return. So Barbario and Dotson in there. Dotson, his second special team tackle on the night. So wait to see what the flag is.
I have a feeling it's going to be a block in the back.
I took the words right out of my mouth.
So they'll get the 41 and then a hold or, block in the back.
So that's going to knock him back.
Yep. They're going to say officially the 42 then back. My apologies.
So we're going to march it all the way back to the 32-yard line.
Which indirectly, that's kind of where you expect to start anyways.
Yep. And Brad, I don't see Sparbaney out there.
Okay.
With the binoculars.
Yep, I see Presley coming in the backfield, so you are correct. And 22 as well, we may see him, Carter Marshall, do some interesting things in that slot area.
Yes, you will. And don't forget, Amari Marshall, the quarterback, he's ran for a fair amount of yards as well. He averages 10.2 every time he touches the ball on 53 carries. Oh, over his head and going to fall on it. Presley stays on his feet, tries to get out of there. The snap was over the fingertips of Marshall. Presley had the wherewithal to try to jump on it. I'm not sure who officially brought him down. Barbario in there. Another loss on the play. So you had the big run there in the second drive. The third drive had a huge run all the way inside the red zone, but called back. And, folks, that's going to do it. A fast-moving first quarter of play as the clock's going to strike 0 on this homecoming night. Western Beaver 7, Ellwood City 6. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Western Beaver setting up shop, 2nd and 21 after the 11-yard loss on the fumbled snap. Ball resting on the 16-yard line. Here's Marshall in the shotgun. Rolls out. Wants to be a keeper. Tries to outrun everybody. Zigs and zags.
Oh,
he fumbled the ball and down on the. Who got it?
It was a Western Beaver player, I believe.
And whoever it was,
number 60,
he did what you're supposed to do, follow the play. Aiden Hall as
number
Amari
18.
Marshall.
Yeah, number 18, Tyler Smiley forced the fumble.
And a pickup of about 12
to 23.
to 28.
23. Yeah, it's a 23.
Okay, the board's wrong.
Yeah,
okay, I was looking at the board. I was trusting them guys tonight. So ball on a 23, 3rd and 16. Back to pass. Marshall finds his man out there. Presley got all blue shirts around him. Tries to make something out of nothing. Gets some positive yardage down to the 30-yard line. That pass went about 20 yards to gain
Smiley
2.
with the initial hit.
Yep. So Smiley.
That was a nice defense there by the Wolverines, almost letting them have that completed pass at the line of scrimmage, and then letting the sure tacklers get in there and get it done. So 4th and 16, first time punting tonight for the Beavers.
The only thing I would say for Beavers there was that Presley had to take a step back. It wasn't in stride, and that's what cost him that
But
first
it wasn't
down.
an easy throw to make.
No, it was not.
In fairness to
Give
Marshall.
credit to Ellwood on defense there. Not bad.
No, it's not. So not
Couple
quite getting the right
subs.
offense out here at day
10
one.
seconds.
They got to figure this out.
10-second mark.
Whew. They're good
5.
Gets the snap.
now. Oh, boy.
Almost got there. And that's going to take a Western Beaver bounce. You can't push a kid into the ball.
No.
That should be a flag, in my opinion. Down by number 44 of Western Beaver, Caden Seymour, all the way down at the 26-yard line, 27-yard line. So 43-yard punt, about 20 of that came on the bounce and roll. The Beavers will take that. So Wolverines now scored on their last drive, albeit only had to be 6 yards after the DeLon Curie interception. So now the Wolverines just down by a point. Little jet sweep action here. Dom Hogue, get the ball in your playmaker's hands, and he just runs out of real estate. Too many white shirts on that picket fence line as Aiden Vula going to get 3, maybe 4 yards. So I'll tell you, a nice first down pickup. There just was no lane for Dom Hogue to cut up in there to make something happen. Here they come, the Wolverines do, on a 2nd and 7, ball on the 31-yard line. Smiley in a shotgun, 2 wide outs left to the right, back to pass. Wants to do the quick pass, finds number 4, Dom Danucci in there. Not much of a gain.
Splits it.
Yep.
So 2nd down and 6, now 3rd down and 3, kind of splits it.
So
that was Ventresca. That was number 2, David Ventresca.
So going to bring up a 3rd and 2 now for the Wolverines. We'll call it a long 2 at that. Smiley sends a man in motion. DeLon Curie comes short side. Hands off to Frisk, and he's met there in the backfield, and nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. 33 finished him off, but the man that made the initial stop was number 9, Jaylon Adkins. And really no gain on that play. 4th down now for the Wolverines. The 3rd down woes continue for the Wolverines. Coming into the game, though, they were 51% on 4th downs.
And this is aggression by the Ellwood, hoping for their defense. They're going to go for it here.
Yes,
4th and 2.
It is. Big play here. 8:25 remaining. 4th and a long 2. Smiley back to pass. Looks, surveys, rolls out to his left. Got a man down there. Oh, intercepted by Marshall. Still on us down to the 39-yard line. The freshman quarterback, Amari Marshall, playing center fielder, And Daylon had to step, but just could not get the float in the air from Tyler Smiley. And hey, give Marshall credit. How high did he jump in the air to snag that ball?
Yep.
So the Wolverines get their first turnover of the night.
Yeah, right idea there by Smiley. Good scramble. It was open. Just got to float it better.
So Smiley throws his 9th interception of the year in the second quarter. So now Western Beaver on the 34-yard line. I still don't see Sparbaney out there. There's Marshall. Hands off.
My. Tyler Iamacone.
Good. Googly moogly.
Give credit to Amacone, and I want to say
that was Colton Gullo.
Colton Gullo, too.
Colton
yeah,
Gullo
with the
came
initial.
in there for the final lick. And a loss on the play.
Yeah, technically back to the 44. Wow, big loss. 5.
So, 2nd and 14. It's Marshall deep in a shotgun. Finds his man out there, number 2. Makes the man miss, stays on his feet. Going to be driven out of bounds by Dom Hogue. But Avon Presley coming out of that backfield gets the Western Beavers first down. That was number 2?
Yep, Ventresca.
Okay.
Yep, that was
Ventresca with the
Ventresca.
catch.
All the way down to the 26.
So don't forget, folks, stick around halftime. We got the Western Beavers, Golden Beavers Band, Ellwood City Blue Band, and, of course, homecoming night. You notice how deep Marshall is in that shotgun?
Yep.
2 wide outs to the right, 1 to the left. He's going to keep it this time. Gets some blockers. Zigs and zags. Makes his way up through there, up the right side, and he's going to get another first down and more.
That was, I think, number 4, Danucci.
Danucci finally gets him out of bounds. That Marshall, he's pretty shifty when he gets that ball in his hand. You talk about space. You can see why. Hayward's averaging 10.1 yards per carry coming into this game.
Sticks are down, so that's first down and goal.
Yeah, right
officially.
inside. Yep, the ball now I can see it. The center put it up there. First and goal from the 10. Here's Marshall, 3 wide outs to the left. Marshall wants to keep it. Zigs and zags, going to go up through there, in for the touchdown. Amari Marshall with the 10-yard touchdown run to give the Golden Beavers the lead, 13-6. Another points off of turnovers, Brad.
Yep.
We talk about it as Amari Marshall started this drive with an interception off of Tyler Smiley, and down the field he went. So now on to kick. The extra point is Schweikert. Noah Schweikert, a junior, awaits the snap. Gets the snap, and that kick is
no good.
No
wow,
good.
That's
wide
big.
right. So
wow.
that helps the Wolverines make some score just down by 7 points. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, folks. Score 13-6 here. Western Beaver getting the score on that drive. Now here's the run up and the kick.
By Schweikert.
And driving kick going to be, just jumped on. Almost muffed it, kind of did, and then jumped on it was number 14 of the Wolverines, Nick Doster. And for the Western Beaver fans, I hate to report this. Wyatt Sparbaney, we saw him leaving the field, jersey off, and arm in a sling. So I would say his return is quite doubtful. And boy, I just hate to see injuries.
Yes.
And he's a big part of their offense. Let's hope it's not. Let's hope it's not severe. Let's hope it's not something that. And we have no idea. I'm just telling you what we saw. And so now Tyler Smiley in there at quarterback. On the keeper. Got to tuck that ball a little tighter into your body. And doesn't get away from him. But a pickup of about 5. Vula in there, Aiden Vula that is. So, but a nice pickup nonetheless by Tyler Smiley.
Yeah.
He picked up about 7 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So they are having some effectiveness just in this first half of play, a quarter and a half into it, with Tyler just keeping that ball every now and then, and find a call, following Vinny Curie in that right guard spot.
This is a big drive for Ellwood here with
Yes, it is.
just over 5.5 minutes.
There's a handoff to Curtin up the
Oh,
middle.
big
He goes,
hole.
got a big hole, and he gets gobbled up there, but he got plenty enough for the first down. As
1-7.
Marshall in there takes his feet out from underneath him and picks him up over his head. But a nice pickup all the way down to the 48-yard line. Wolverines now in Western Beaver territory. Folks, don't forget halftime. Want some out-of-town scores, some big conference matchups. In all conference big matchups now.
From here on out, basically.
Yep, 1st and 10, 48-yard line. Smiley in a shotgun, wide out to the left, wide out to the right, hand off. Richard Curtin tries the left side this time, bounces off his own player, and going to get some positive yardage
7.
of about 4 yards.
Yep.
And that is Amari Marshall again
Yeah, his name
with
is
the
up there.
tackle. And I tell you what, he is not afraid to tackle low and
No,
rip them
he's
feet
not.
out from underneath of you.
And if you're an Ellwood fan, you don't mind the 4-yard average here. You take it. You're,
Yep, yeah,
you're
it just
milking
makes
that clock a little bit, and you're still getting positive yard. It's about shortening the downs, folks, because if you're going to go for it, 4 downs, you shorten it every time.
Yes, you do. And that 2nd and 6 just makes that play calling just a little bit bigger. Everything in tight, though, this time. Smiley.
Play
this
action.
time, going out to the right, play action, throws it out there.
What a
finds
catch.
Barbario, a tough catch,
Yes, I would say.
safe catch, as Vula was there to bring him down. Not a big pickup on the play, but we're going to give him 3 yards.
Yeah, it's another 3-4
So
yards.
a very manageable 3rd down and 2. And folks, if you go back to Ellwood City Wolverines Sports YouTube page, Ellwood City Wolverines YouTube page, you can see that great catch by Barbario. It was harder than it looked.
Yes.
Now everything in tight for the Wolverines. As Smiley on the 3rd and 2. He's not afraid to try to bark him off sides. Gets the first down and more. Nice his way through there. And do we give an asterisk to Eli Moore, the center, and number 52, Vinny Curie, because Tyler Smiley just says, I'm going to follow the 2 of you. He needed 2 and got, 7?
Yep. Officially 5.
Okay.
But it's still 5 yards, and it's the quarterback doing it. That's pretty darn
Well,
good.
and I'm telling you what, Western Beaver, they come up to the line. They look like they want to
jam
jump.
it,
And I
yeah.
think Tyler is recognizing that, and Coach Bradley is saying, do the 3 count. Try to get a hard count. Hand off to Curtin. Up the middle he goes. He's at the
Following Curry.
Wow.
First down.
All the way down to the 12-yard line. What a run by Curtin. He had blockers out in front. It was kind of that, I'll call it the counter action this time, as Ventresca was there to finally ride him down at the 12-yard line. How long was that run,
That was
Brad?
a 23 for 23. And that's number 23, Curtin, with that play. And I tell you what, if Ventresca's not there, that's
He's
a
still
walk-in
going.
touchdown.
And here we go. They can get a first down. It's on the 12-yard line. 1st and 10. Handoff this time. Frisk. Up the
Wide
way
open.
goes. Touchdown! Frisk. Julian Frisk into the end zone with the 12-yard run. What a nice drive by the Wolverines that time. And that front line of the Wolverines, I tell you what, Brad, I don't think Frisk got touched till about the 3-yard line as the sea opened up and he went up through there and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Oh, boy, some
Now,
trickery here.
we got some old school 2-point conversion stuff going on here Wolverines can take the lead. Dom
got it.
Oh, come on.
Oh, shoot.
Come on.
Flag on the play. He did make it into the end zone, but it's not looking good
It's
from the
be
Wolverine sidelines.
Or
False
illegal. Yeah.
Illegal motion.
Dang it.
Coach Bradley, he's down there.
Have a feeling maybe one of those linemen that gets shifted so far out to the left or right maybe just moved a little too soon. So that puts the ball now at the 8, and, well, we're going to go and do it again.
Yep.
Maybe not
But
as
a little more
exotic.
traditional. So Smiley back in there now at quarterback. Sends Daylon in motion behind him. Smiley looking, throws it. A little too high. Out of the end zone it goes. Intended receiver, Tyler Amicone. So we're still a 1-point game, folks. It's 13-12 in favor of the Beavers, but we do have ourselves a ball game here. 3:02 remaining. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Wolverines get the score to keep it to a 1-point game. It's 13-12. Here's a run-up and kick by Daylon Curie. Going to be taken there to the legs of number 2.
They're going to say no touch. Yep. Be careful.
Going down that right side. Gets everybody, tries to shake and bake. Going to be finally pushed out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. That was just borderline, could have been disastrous for Western Beaver. So Western Beaver now coming out on offense. That was number 25. I'm not sure who it was. They're going to start at the 25.
Yeah, it was number 2. It was Ventresca.
Ventresca. So 2:52 remaining. Looks like, yes, both teams have all 3 of their timeouts.
10 seconds.
Play clock winding down. They're going to be able to get it off as Marshall. Going to keep it. Come around the left side. Got a little bit of a seam. Makes a man miss.
Yep.
And he's not going to get quite enough for the first down. Declan O'Brien was in there to make a hit. So let's give Marshall credit for a long 8 on that play. Brings it out to the 34-yard line. Fast moving first half here. Each team with a turnover. Each team scored off that turnover. Handoff this time. Drake Davis. TFL tackle for a loss. As that was Atkins, number 9, on the carry. But Drake Davis was ready for him coming from that left defensive line position. So still going to be 3rd and 2. Just under 2 minutes left in this first half. Marshall fakes it, rolls out to the right, looks down the field, tries to outrun people. He's going to get the first down and stays in bounds. He does get enough for the first down. So I'm not sure who was over there. I think O'Brien once again was over there. And Cameron Mills as well. So they do get the first down. They reset the sticks and start the clock. We hear the Western Beaver coach down there in the press box reminding the players down in the field how much time they got left. They do have all 3 timeouts. Marshall back. He wants to go deep this time.
It's a wobbler.
He does. And there's the flag.
Saw that coming.
Yep.
The
As
problem,
intended receiver.
The problem is the receiver, number 6,
Kai Hudson.
Hudson, sorry. He cut outside, and when he cut back inside, he kind of ran through Danucci, and, well, Danucci said, well, I'm just going to hold you, and, well, that's a flag.
And at the same time, though, you might be glad you got the 15 yards
you take the 15.
instead of 6.
Yep, you take the 15 all day.
That's the longest pass attempt we've seen by Marshall so far tonight, but an easy 15 yards for them on the pass interference.
And that, unfortunately, that's something that you may want to coach at the high school level. If you get beat, take them down, because it is a 15 every time.
I kind of have a feeling it's already coached.
Obviously, you don't want the penalty.
On the 46-yard line of Ellwood City. And around, little trickery.
Yep,
goes
little
back.
trickery.
Marshall, Wolverines not fooled at all.
Player. And now 55 is hurting. Oh, he tripped over him. Oh, they're going to blow the whistle here.
Trying to do some they flick the ball to Presley. Presley throws it, throws it out to Marshall. And that's going to be was a Patterson in there to finally to get him really dropped down. But a timeout taken by Western Beaver. They still have 2 remaining. So in the world of football, with 1:06 remaining, a lot of time left, especially when you have them 2 timeouts and out of bounds to possibly stop the clock.
I'll tell you what, give credit to this Wolverine defense. They stayed at home a little bit. Yes, they got beat there for that 58-yard play there in Sparbaning in the first quarter, but since then, it's been held in check. We know this Western Beaver team, you're not going to stop the offense. You need to maintain it. And if you can keep Amari in check, right now, I mean, they are. Look at the score, 13-12.
Well, you kind of think when you're coming here, Western Beaver averaging 40.1 points a game, there's obviously big plays.
Yes.
And Wolverines have been able to limit that. And, one of the things that helped the Wolverines limit that, and you never want to say because of an injury, but Sparbaning being out has certainly affected this offense of Western Beaver.
Now, if you're an Ellwood fan, you just say there's still 1:06 up there. Let's finish the job and get the half.
Let's keep this a 1-point game.
Yep. So here we go. Just now 2 timeouts left, 1:06.
Amari Marshall in the shotgun, everything to the left. 1 out to the right. Got a man cut across. Drake Davis gives chase. Here comes Marshall. Makes Declan O'Brien miss. Up that sideline. Gets a block. And down to about the line again for a first down. Not sure if he got it or not. It's going to depend on the spot. And quickly, another timeout taken. Brad, you said this earlier. I don't think we were on the air. But the wide receiver blocking downfield by Western Beaver is textbook.
Yes.
Their runs like that are real. They do get the first down. They're just gave the official announcement to move it forward. A quick timeout there. I was a little bit surprised.
Yeah.
I thought maybe, but there was a pretty good pile up, and it wasn't. If they would have called the first down immediately and gave them time to move the sticks to stop the clock, maybe that timeout would not have been taken. Don't forget the excitement of homecoming. Is Crownation the right word? Carnation.
Well, it's definitely not coronation.
No.
Crowning.
Crowning.
Just the
there
crowning.
It is.
Just the crowning.
They're going to put a crown on somebody's head at halftime. Stick around and watch. So, 13-12 in favor of Western Beaver.
Camera. Just the face.
No, we do not want a press box camera. No, we do not. Ball on the 36-yard line. 1 timeout remaining.
Late sub there.
Not
22.
even a sub. They had to get
Marshall.
the right person on the line.
10 seconds.
Now they got to get enough people on the line of scrimmage. Good snap. Marshall back. Got all kind of time. Now Drake Davis gives chase. Marshall comes up through the middle. Going to get shaken down there by number 9, Colton Gulo.
And there is a flag on the far sideline, all the way down at the
near
7.
the pylon.
Yeah. And that's in the territory of Danucci and number 6.
Yeah, you're hoping that's not a defensive hold.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is.
Oh, no. Hold against Western Beaver.
What in tarnation? How can
that
hold? That hold
wasn't a hold. That was an illegal. I think if you relook at it, hands to the face.
Hands to the face.
I'm thinking it was. When he initially did it, we need to talk to Steffler Window Cleaning about cleaning these windows. Steffler Window Cleaning, a sponsor here at the stadium. So 5 yards back. Now they're winding that clock, and they just got 1 timeout remaining with 38 seconds. 2 wide outs to the right, 1 short side left. Back to pass Marshall. Gets a little bit of time, finds the open man.
Good tackle,
and that was
Barberio.
Number 3 with the catch, Presley. And the final timeout taken with 25 seconds. It's going to bring up a second down at that point when the timeout is over and they come back.
Well, that leaves them with 1.
No, this is
it.
This
That's
is their
it.
third time
That
out.
should be there. It should be out.
It should be, but I'm still seeing a 1.
I mean, they didn't actually whistle to say they were out, but this should be their final.
Yep.
There we go.
There it
Their
is.
final timeout. Wolverines with all 3 of theirs. So during this timeout, hey folks, the cross country team finishing in second place, 10-1. Boys finished 4th, girls finished 9th place at the 53rd Marty Ewer Vulcan Invitational. And a nice season by cross country. Boys golf, 15-1, 11-1, find themselves in first place. Go ahead, Brad.
Real quick, cross country tomorrow, Saturday, Invitational, the Tri-County Championships up at Shenango. Lawrence County Sports Network will have coverage.
All right, our friends Dotson and the crew at Lawrence County Sports Network. So if you want to check out all of the cross-country action with the county. So 3rd and 5, 25 seconds remaining, ball on the 36-yard line. A little different formation. Everybody out, 4 wide outs to the right, 1 right out to the left. Wolverines, will they blitz or do the picket fence? There's a hold on Patterson. He don't call it. Around goes Marshall. Marshall slips. Fumbles the ball. Picked up there.
I think that was maybe Declan O'Brien. Nope, it is Tyler
Smiley, his second fumble recovery on the season. Heads up play there as Marshall was trying to zig and zag his way around there. And that initial push of Drake Davis and Craig Patterson. And I want to think Vinny Curie was in there as well and chasing out of the pocket. So the Wolverines keep the score 13-12 in favor of Western Beaver with 15 seconds remaining. I think we're just going to take a knee and talk it over at halftime, and that's what appears going to happen.
And just remember, Ellwood will receive second half kick.
Great point, Brad. Folks, we're going to take a quick timeout, set up things here to watch the bands, and then, of course, we have the crowning of our homecoming queen.
force. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the villains with Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. Drum Major, is your band ready?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lincoln High School Blue Band Spray and Pump Show. Tonight we begin with a classic from a 1986 Broadway classic. Here's our rendition of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera.
back center field.
Before we crown our queen, the senior class would like to acknowledge the efforts of all those who have made this evening possible, including Blocker Jewelers, Diadio's Family Nursery, the Ellwood City Area School District Administration and Board, the custodial staff of Ellwood City, faculty manager Gary Rosansky, athletic director Kurt Agustinelli, the Ellwood City Wolverines YouTube channel, Posies by Patty, DJ Too Nice, who will be providing the entertainment at tonight's junior high dance, and Rain or Shine Entertainment, who will be at tomorrow night's senior high dance. Junior class advisor Sam Berry, sophomore class advisor Jolene Krupa, and finally senior class advisors Mrs. Dina Noble and Mrs. Melissa Pigza. We'll soon have our returning to the field, our 2025 Homecoming Queens Court. So as we're going to welcome back Miss Erica Barlow, Miss Kennedy Kuhnfair, Miss Ava Dossman, Kylie Levere, Ava Lucarelli, Mia Meredith, Gianna Paisley, Emma Schlafly, Sydney Woodhead, and Emily Rosenthal. And there is your homecoming court. Presenting the queen with a dozen of roses is junior class president Santino Danucci, escorted by junior class vice president Lily Paisley. Our crown bearer is Brooklyn Ottaviani, the daughter of Evan and Jessica Ottaviani. Crowning this year's queen will be Lincoln High School's 2024 homecoming queen, Holly Palmer, escorted by Maddox Singer, a graduate of last year. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Lincoln High School homecoming queen is Sydney Woodhead. So congratulations to Miss Sydney Woodhead. Her dad Bubba there with a kiss on the cheek. Congratulations to Sydney, the 69th Ellwood City homecoming queen. What a great night as the girls all to come together to celebrate. That is really awesome. Hey, a shout out to Jackson Kerr.
Yes.
Jackson Kerr, we'll see him this winter on the basketball court. Jackson was homecoming king at a pep rally / ceremony yesterday afternoon. I don't have that official list of names of guys on there, but some football players on there. I know Drake Davis was on there. Brad's working on it. So congratulations once again to Sydney Woodhead for being this year's homecoming queen. Gets a picture there in the big chair. 2025 graduate and homecoming queen Holly Palmer. Maddox Singer in there, 2025 graduate. So,
okay.
Brad,
yep, here we go. Yep, we got
here's
the King's Court.
King's Court
comprised of Anthony Barberio, football, Jordan Keller, golf, Andy Lynn, golf, Jackson Rosansky, well, you guessed it, golf, Dominic Hone, football, Jackson Kerr, basketball, Jordan Boker, baseball, Jacob Biscup, baseball, and Drake Davis, football and hockey.
So, yep, congratulations, and what a fun weekend. I'm not sure, is the dance at the school tomorrow night, do we know?
Yes. In the cafeteria.
In the cafeteria. I'm sure a fun night will be had, and all the restaurants will be getting filled up. All the glitz and glam of homecoming weekend. Brad, we got ourselves a ball game here.
Yeah.
What do you got for stats for us?
Let's talk about it, and hopefully those folks who are watching home, you got a couple pictures of Woodhead, because unfortunately for about 2 seconds here, she's going to be covered up with the halftime stats. And there you go, folks, 13-12. Western Beaver, Golden Beavers up by 1. Unfortunately for Ellwood, 2-point conversions not working just yet. There was a successful one, and unfortunately it was called with an illegal or in motion or formation against Ellwood. That called back. They are down by 1. Unfortunately, Aiden Huth is out for tonight, kicking-wise. Rushing yards, Western Beaver 111 compared to Ellwood with 82. 82 feels like a little bit more, but that's just because, unfortunately, we did have a turnover for Ellwood. On the flip side, turnovers, Western Beaver had 2, and that's actually points off of turnovers, both teams with 6 points across each other. Passing yards, Western Beaver 47, Ellwood 26, but an important 26. There was a couple plays there for first downs, including Anthony Barbario. We had a catch there between what am I trying to say here? Dom DiNucci and Dom Hogue. And that is your total yardage, 158 to 108. So both teams doing things well, but there are mistakes, turnovers on each side. Individuals, rushing yards. Richard Cureton, another good first half, 11 for 67, 6.1 per carry. Julian Frisk, 2 carries, 13, 6.5 per carry. Ellwood, 20 carries for 82, 4.1 average. On the flip side, Amari Marshall, 10 for 72 and 2 touchdowns, 7.2. Wyatt Sparbaney, who unfortunately we do assume he will not be coming out for the second half. He was in a sling, which means it's an arm injury. He had his whole uniform off and everything, so we probably will not see him. He had 4 carries for 60, a 15 average, and unfortunately for Avon Presley, with those bad snaps, he technically has negative 21 yards. Western Beaver, 17 carries, 111, 6.5 per carry. Passing, Tyler Smiley, 4 for 6, 26 with an interception. Amari Marshall, 4 for 6 for 47 and an interception. Receiving, Avon Presley, 3 for 29. And then Dom DiNucci, 2 for 18. Obviously, folks, the difference right now is just 1 point. Out-of-town scores here. The 4A Parkway, that one is a pretty good one brewing there from the Taggart Stadium. Newcastle up at halftime, 14-7. Neshannock all over cruising past Burgettstown. That one's going to be close to halftime already, 21-7. Laurel, wow. Do we need to say anything else? They're going to go to 6-1. It's about whether or not they're going to hold and keep Summit Academy at 0. 41-0.
Wow.
Going into halftime. Shenango and Rochester, they're in for a battle. You got to give Don Phillips there at Rochester Rams, keeping it close. It's 6-6 in the second quarter. The MAC Conference, here we go, folks. Some big scores. Obviously 13-12 here. Freedom down to Riverside, 14-7 at half. Mohawk down 22-7 against New Brighton. And Union keeping it close with Beaver Falls. It's Beaver Falls 22-14 at halftime. Beaver Falls, if they would win, would be 3-1 in section play. New Brighton, if they would win, they would improve to 2-2 in section play. If Riverside would win, they would be slotted in that tied for second place with a 3-1 record. And then you've got Ellwood and Western Beaver. Again, whoever wins this game, folks, will be first. Whoever loses will fall to either second or third in the standings. That?
So they did give us a little bit longer time here for halftime with the I'm sorry, I should have told you had that opportunity. They put 3 minutes on the clock for the homecoming festivities. Brad, something I just really noticed, Braden Mayo, did he carry the ball at all?
He did not.
He was out there in the center warming up, and I only bring that up. Coming into tonight's game, he had 34 carries. Amari Marshall, the quarterback, had 27 carries. And, of course, the stud back there, Wyatt Sparbaney, had 64. So, he was taking care of about 25% of the carries, and we've yet to see him carry the ball tonight.
Well,
but we've seen Avon Presley back there
right.
Carrying the ball a little bit, and I don't think he had many. He had 6 coming in to.
You may be possibly in the Western Beavers locker there, kind of maybe something that they're kind of brewing up like, hey, you know what, we're going to spread the love here. They're working well with the running play with Amari Marshall, but at some point Ellwood is going to kind of key on that, probably switch to a QB spy. So you may see that typical 3-5 defense may quickly or 2-5, whatever defense it is for Ellwood. You may see a linebacker now sitting on Amari Marshall. Right. But the most important thing, Ellwood does receive first.
Yep, as Western Beaver won the toss and elected to receive. I really think this second half, we're close game, 13-12, the turnovers.
Yeah.
We saw that drive stall out there at the end there for Western Beaver with the fumble. They throw the interception. Ellwood, they had to play almost like they wanted and give Marshall credit on his interception there early in the second quarter. So, the ebb and flow of a game sure does change a lot when them turnovers rear their ugly heads. So, Weichert kicks it. It's going to be taken there by number 4 to 25-yard line. Dom DiNucci going to get pinballed around. Going to get, maybe about the 27-6. So Wolverines set up shop their first drive of this third quarter, starting at the 26-yard line. Hey, Brad, quick shout out in the band tonight. Some of the parents picked up the instruments and are sitting and playing in the band. So kind of a homecoming alumni type band thing going on here. So certainly do appreciate the parents coming in.
And it's going to be first down and 10 at the 32.
32, okay. Handoff, and big flag coming in there from far off the sidelines.
And this is intriguing because the way that Cureton fell down, I wonder if it's going to be a hold, though, against Ellwood.
Yep.
Yep.
That is going to be a hold, as you said, Brad, and going to make that 1st and 10 now a 1st and 20.
And that's
not how you wanted to start out.
No. And in that first half, we were talking about the penalties. They weren't many, but it was enough to be a little bit of a factor, and that's a big one there. That's now 4 penalties for 35 yards for Ellwood.
So, and one of those was that pass interference, so that got you a bunch of yardage there. 1st and 20 now, Smiling the shotgun. Hands it off there. Cureton gets pinballed around on that left side, falls his way forward, and picks up a couple, about 5, give or take. Number 44 gets up from the bottom of the pile, Caden Seymour. So that 5-yard gain's going to bring it to a 2nd down and 15. Sends Daylon in motion. Hand off this time, Cureton left side, gets about 4 yards before he gets touched, wanting to drive his way forward, and almost gets back to the original line of scrimmage before the penalty. Yep, going to give him 5. Number 33.
Hayes.
Charlie Hayes.
I don't know. Number 9 came out of the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, folks, we do apologize. We do not have the official roster from Western Beaver did not have 33, so we unfortunately.
It's not 56 Davis, is it? Well,
no, he said Hayes.
Okay.
Yeah, so and that was confirmed over there. Unfortunately, we just don't have a number.
Okay, now 3rd and 10. Big 3rd down here at Wolverines. 3rd downs have been an issue, especially long with 3rd down. Wants to go
He's got
deep.
him.
Got his man, Daylon Curry. Oh! Unable to squeeze the ball in. He had about a 3-yard lead on the defender. The ball's going to fall incomplete.
And it's one of those ones where you just got to float it, buddy, just a little bit more.
Yep.
Oh.
So 4th and 10 now for the Wolverines. And that was there was a lot of turf.
Yep.
And that's all there was between him and the end zone.
And unfortunately, chalked that up to the penalty. Now
so,
timeout.
Timeout.
Ooh. By Western Beaver.
Kind of an odd time for a timeout on that 4th and 10. So Western Beaver takes their first timeout.
Are we parting the seas now? Or are we waiting on the parting of the seas?
What do we
Moses.
part? Oh no! Yeah, we can go with the folks. The long time tradition, the Thursday night dinners. They've been doing it since Moby Dick was a minnow. A long time is my point. Team dinner last night. Pizza party provided by Kale Taylor. She's a realtor in town and also a Champions Club sponsor here at the stadium. Thank you to Kayla Taylor, the realtor, and lots of pizzas. She had to buy a lot of pizzas to feed 48 on a roster and a bunch of coaches. So thank you to Miss Kayla Taylor. More to come about that. So, Daylon Curry.
Good kick.
It's
going
a
to bounce.
Good kick. Takes an Ellwood City bounce, and it's going to be downed at about the 33-yard line.
Pretty good kick. That will officially go in the books as a 35-yarder with a no return, most important.
Yep. It is kind of hard to believe. I don't think there's been one return yard via punt this year by an opposing team, as I was looking at stats earlier.
The big thing about these punts, I don't ever want to punt per se for Ellwood, but that has helped the average that has sat there for like 5 weeks really bad.
The average has been below 20.
Yes, it has. That's accurate.
After our first game, it was 3 yards. So there has been improvement in the punting game. Something you don't want to live and die by, but it needs to be better than 3 yards. 1st and 10, ball on the 34. Here's Marshall. Handoff. Up the middle he goes. There's number 5, Braden Mayo. His first carry of the night.
Drake Davis with the tackle.
Yep, you called it.
So going to pick up about 6 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 4. Looks like Mayo's going to be in there to the left of Marshall now in that shotgun. Doesn't look like his shotgun formation's about a yard deeper than normal.
I would say. That's the running
Hand off to
quarterback.
Mayo again. Tries the right side this time. Pushes the pile forward. Not going to get enough for a 1st down, but he's going to be darn close. Cam Mills getting up from the bottom of the pile. And Declan O'Brien in there as well. So now it's going to be 3rd down. And going to call it a short one. As Drake Davis coming off the field. A little bit of hitch and his giddy up. Here's Moore, going to keep it this time. Tries the right side. He's got the 1st down, a whole bunch more. Man, that kid's got a burst of speed. He's down to the 20, the 15, 10. Going to be taken down inside the 10-yard line. Touchdown, saving tackle there by number 1, Dom Hogue. But good grief. Marshall on a 3rd and 1 takes the ball
down to the 6 officially.
The 6-yard line.
So that's a 51-yard play for the 1st down. Whew.
Yes, it is. And just like that, it's 1st and goal. And I tell you what, Amari Marshall, I keep forgetting this kid's a freshman, but does he have a burst of speed? He puts that foot in a bucket and he is gone. So now, Drake Davis getting worked on the sidelines. I think it looked like a cramp. Handoff this time, Mayo hurdles over man into the end zone. He goes for the Western Beaver touchdown. Western Beaver makes the score 19-12 at 8:35 remaining in this 3rd quarter. They came out, what was that, about 4 plays, Brad?
Yep, 4 plays.
And went 67 yards to get the touchdown. And off the legs of Braden Mayo. And 151-yard run by Amari Marshall.
Man, they're going for 2 here.
Yes, they are.
I'm not a fan of this.
So Marshall up under center. Everything in tight. Handoff to Mayo.
And that's why you don't do that.
And he's taken down.
By his own player, basically.
Pretty much.
He ran into Amari Marshall there and fell over and goes.
So the 2-point conversion does not go. So it keeps it a 7-point game. 19-12. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. That 63-yard drive capped by Brandon Mayo's 5-yard run. Here comes the run up and a kick. Tries a squib kick on the ground, and the black jerseys on black jersey night of the Wolverines fall on that. I believe it was Cam Mills, was it not?
Yes.
So Wolverines going to set up pretty nice field position on that squib kick right there at about the 42-yard line. So 1st and 10 now for the Wolverines.
Who were moving the ball fairly well in that first half. They come out in the second half, and they do get yardage. Unfortunately, that holding is what cost them.
And they're so close to breaking that big play. Whether via the pass or the run. They've just not been able to get that done yet. Smiley now. He's going to keep it.
I like that.
Tries the left side, up the middle, and a nice tackle there by number 44, Caden Seymour. Took him out with the legs underneath. And but not after Smiley got about 5 yards on that play. So a little different package in there that time as Hockenberry was in there along with Colton Gulo. So now a 2nd down and 5. 2 wide outs to the right, a sidecar to the left and right of Smiley. Smiley to Curtin. Oh, he got bottled up. Hit high and then spinned into the ground. Was that number 53? 55 it was. Is Damian Lutton. 6'0", 245. Beefy. He gets him down rather quickly. Really no gain on the play. So 3rd and 5 now. Ball on the Ellwood City Wolverines 47-yard line. I'm sure the Wolverines unable to get a first down in that first drive of the 3rd quarter. Would love to get one here to keep this drive alive.
And unfortunately, Ellwood is going to have to take a timeout. A package misfortune there on some subs. So that'll be Ellwood's first timeout.
Yes, it will. Both teams will have 2 remaining. Hey, football president, great guy. I'm getting to know him more and more here as the year goes on. Ben Moore. Ben also wanted to give a huge mention and much appreciation to everyone that supported the Cash Bash there last Saturday night. Heard it was a lot of fun. A lot of money was won. It was a great night. Everyone had a good time. And just remember, something like that, all that money raised goes to these football players for them. So a huge thank you to all within the community.
Yep.
I know it was a huge day in Ellwood. Had the Fall Fest car cruise and the Cash Bash there on Main Street. What a great time had by all.
And I'll add to it, that Sunday also was the Jared Myers Legacy Race, and a portion of that money was also donated to the football boosters. So
and you probably saw it on Facebook back.
Yeah.
There was a lot of football players from this Ellwood City Wolverines team.
And we actually were able to cover Jared Myers. I tell you what, he was something else on the field.
That was before I came on.
Yep,
but
he was something else.
Yes,
yeah,
he was.
I graduated with him.
Yep.
So 3rd and 5 now, ball on a 47-yard line. Big 3rd down here. Boy, Western Beaver got everything up tight.
Moved.
And
somebody moved for Ellwood, and that's
son
going
of
to be
a gun.
a false start.
Yeah, that 3rd and 5 just got harder. 3rd and 10. I don't know if we've seen a team yet this year that acts that aggressive on the line, on the defensive line, as what we see in Western Beaver.
Maybe Laurel.
Well, yes.
The first week, and that's probably why we don't remember. But other than that, maybe Laurel.
Well, Laurel did a lot of good things in that game.
They did.
So now 3rd and 10, ball on a 42. 3 wide outs left, 1 to the right. Back to pass is Smiley. Finds some pressure. Falls up in the pocket. And, a great defensive play by Yvonne Presley of Western Beaver, just to bat the ball down from Dom Hogue. Didn't get selfish and try to go for the interception, just batted that ball down. And Dom Hogue's not an easy wide receiver to cover. And a holding against the Wolverines, but they're going to decline it.
Yep.
So now 4th down, and the punt unit does appear to be coming on.
And I can guarantee you, we were talking about it with a couple of the fans down on the sideline about going for it on 4th down. If that was 4th down and 5, I guarantee you Coach Bradley goes for it. He played the percentages. Unfortunately, now this is a little bit easier decision.
You are still a 1-score game. Field position is important.
Yes.
So I punt it here if it's 4th and 5,
Absolutely.
honestly. Not even if it's 4th and 10. So awaits the snap. Good snap. Kick is up. High kick.
What a kick.
And a good kick.
It takes a bad back.
Kind of helps out. And going to be down there at the 29-yard line. So what are we going to call that? About a 29-yard punt?
Yep.
So Western Beaver now coming back out. Had a very impressive drive last time. It's 7:04 remaining. The score 19-12 in favor of Western Beaver. Once again, congratulations to Sydney Woodhead, the 2025 homecoming queen. So Amari Marshall hands off to Mayo. Mayo has a little stutter step, follows his way forward, slips 1 tackle, slips 2 tackles, pushes his way forward. He took a 2-yard gain and made about 5 out of it, Brad, as Declan O'Brien was there to finally bring him down.
Yeah, give credit there to Amicone. He kind of held on for dear life.
Yep, we're going to give him 6 yards on that play. So right now in the last couple drives, Brad, the Wolverines need to find an answer for the running game of the Golden Beavers.
Yeah, it'll be very surprised if Amari passes it anytime soon.
2nd and 4. He's going to keep it.
Oh,
dragged down there by Colton Golo. Another tackle for a loss. I think that's his 8th on the year. He read that like a kindergarten book. He shot the gap and got right to Marshall. Actually, he's going to lose a couple, Brad.
Yep, he loses about 2, so that makes it 3rd and 6 now. It's manageable, but if you're Ellwood, all you need is one big down here and stop. And see what Western Beaver does. It looks like they're going to send 3 wide receivers to the close side here, Thad.
Yes, it does. Going to be a sidecar.
There's one on the far side.
Yes, there is, all the way out there. Mayo.
Oh,
no, gets gobbled up. That's going to be a sack. Golo in there to bring him down, and Mr. P.J. Dubois, the big guy. Big sack there for Marshall. I almost think that was a half-busted play by the Golden Beavers, because there were 4 blue shirts in Marshall's face. And I don't know if he was trying to do almost like an option type.
It was RPO, and you could see he was going to go, too.
And it just wasn't going to work. So now a punt for the Western Beaver. Wolverines could keep on this good field position.
Oh, Volo punting. It's going to go bounce.
Huge,
oh, my goodness.
Warriors, Golden Beavers bounce.
Can we get
down
one of
to
those?
the 29-yard line.
Oh,
so a 41-yard punt.
Wow.
Rolled about 15. But Wolverines keeping a 1-score game, down 19-12, 4:59 remaining in this 3rd quarter of play. Don't forget, folks, keep apprised to our Facebook page, Instagram page, and Twitter, as we can keep you updated to all of our sports activities throughout the week.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've looked further enough into next week yet.
No JV tomorrow, unfortunately. There's a Newcastle News article about JV games. We'll leave that one alone.
Yeah.
There is a soccer match, I believe, at Avonworth at
remember,
noon.
we talked about the cross-country match as well.
Yep.
1st and 10, Wolverines ball on the 29-yard line. Smiley back to pass. Wants to go deep. Throws it out on the flat to DeLon Curie and tries to shake and bake. Going to get about a yard as number 5, Braden Mayo, was there. So I don't remember seeing Mayo in the first half at all. And now we see him out here in the third quarter.
And if you're watching that, folks, it was the wheel route. Ellwood was kind of looking for that slot man going deep. I believe that was Amicone that was maybe going deep.
One of the Dom Hogue was going down there,
was
too.
it Dom?
And
okay,
he was pretty well covered.
Looking. Yep.
He wanted to go that way, but I think he thought better of it.
Yep.
As the coverage was
pretty good.
Really good. So 2nd and 9, handoff, Frisk. Tries to go outside.
It's going to be a flag against Ellwood here.
Another flag, you say?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And it's going to be I think it's an illegal motion or false start. I don't think Barbario was set properly. So this will be a 5-yard penalty unless they decline it, which they could decline it here.
There was no gain on the play.
Yeah.
It would be 3rd down.
They are declining it.
It appears so. Yep. Illegal shift. And the penalty is declined. So Western Beaver wants to not give them a chance at a 2nd and 14. They're going to stick it to them and make them have the 3rd and 9. The wide receiver package coming in now as Amicone and Danucci find their way onto the field. So, yeah, they just wound the play clock. So 4 minutes remaining. It's 19-12 in favor of Western Beaver. Wolverines 3rd and 8. Wolverines need to show improvement. Bring the blitz. Jason Smiley throws it out there. And a nice catch, but unable to maintain his footing to get any further ahead was Julian Frisk. He picked up about 3, and he just had to dive down a little bit for that ball. I think if he's able to catch that ball chest high, Brad, he gets the first down still running.
Makes it 4th and 5. Let's see what Ellwood does here. They got plenty of time, 25 seconds on the play clock, and it looks like Ellwood may go for it here.
I appear so.
Maybe a draw off sides. You never know. Tyler could punt from this formation. We have seen that way back when.
But big play here, 4th and 5, 3 minutes remaining. Smiley in the shotgun, 2 out left to the right, back to pass, gets gobbled up. He does not, escapes a flag, 2 flags. As Smiley is going to get enough for the first down, but this is not looking well with the 2 flags coming in there in the backfield.
I have never seen so many flags. It's been a while since we've seen over 15 flags in a game. Woof.
Holding Ellwood City. And that would have been a first down play. They're going to march it back 10 yards, so that 4th and 5 now becomes 4th and 15 from the 24, and this will be punt situation for the Wolverines.
That is now 6 penalties for both teams, so 12 total in this game, and we had 5 declines so far.
So, Daylon Curie with the punt, gets it away. And it's going to take a Wolverine bounce down to the 39-yard line.
So not a bad kick. 37 yards. Again, no return.
So now, the Golden Beavers appear to get some momentum, and then the defense of the Wolverines, kind of that bend but don't break kind of mentality, is able to win. They got them stopped that last time.
Well, and you do the
big 3rd down play.
If you do the same running play every time, you change it up, and that's what Western Beaver did, and unfortunately it actually cost them. You wonder if you kept with Mayo, and then you can see the pads on Mayo. Mayo is not he's not thin. He's listed officially 165.
5'8", 165. Now Marshall wants to keep the ball. He does get the edge. Coming up that sideline, is going to get the first down and just goes out of balance at about midfield. He did what he wanted to do, and that was get a first down. It's just that Marshall, if he gets the edge like that, he's 5'10", but when he gets some legs in stride, he looks like he's 6'4" running along there. Quite impressive freshman. So now on that 1st and goal, ball is right at midfield. Ball on the left hash. Marshall handoff to Mayo.
My goodness.
Golo, but he doesn't get him down. Slows him down, but then everybody else comes along. Golo had him wrapped up. Mayo was able to kind of twist himself out of it. He's still going to lose 5 yards on the play. I think Cam Mills was there, as well as somebody else with the black jersey on was able to get him down. So a big loss on the play. I think Colton Golo's just instincts there to make that cut and get in there. He's seen that a couple times now tonight to get the tackle for the loss, and not just a yard. He's getting them back 4 or 5 yards. So 2nd and 15, 2 wide outs, right, 1 left passing. Look, Marshall, P.J. DuBois gives chase. Dumps it out there to Mayo. A nice little dump play. Boy, Mayo fell awkwardly there as Golo was there to put the hit on him, and Dom DiNucci. And I wondered about that when he went down. Mayo. He went down awkwardly.
And it's Mayo who's down for Western Beaver.
As the Wolverine defender kind of rode up his back there. It was a nice play by Marshall as he was getting chased, just to kind of dump it out there to that outlet in Braden Mayo. And he is really on the sidelines in there for the Wolverines. And he's getting attended to by the training staff. So you want to take a timeout here, Brad?
Yeah, we will take a timeout here, folks. 3rd quarter, 1:38. Western Beaver up by 7.
All right, welcome back, folks. As Braden Mayo makes his way off the field on his own power. Not exactly sure what was happening going on there, but walking good going out across the field. So 3rd and 4, ball on the 44-yard line of Ellwood City. So Wolverines defense need to make a stop here as Marshall, the quarterback, awaits the snap. Tries the outside, cuts his way up through, going to get the first down, and nice run in there by Marshall. He just finds a way to find that lane and run his way up through there. Cam Mills is there to get him stopped, but not after a nice run down to be a pickup of 11 on the play on a 3rd and 4. So now we'll kind of wait and see, Bragg, as you think about it. Sparbaney, he left the game injured in a sling. Now you have Mayo. He came into the game with leading the team in 2nd on rushing attempts.
That leaves Adkins in the backfield with
Yes,
Marshall.
it is. And the handout. Oh, Marshall keeps it. It's around there. Spins his way forward.
It's going to be a hold.
It looked like a hold. Yep. I think this one's going to be coming back. And, man, I'm just trying to not stick up for the linemen, but on them end arounds, it's so easy to get caught up in that hold because you can get beat.
And
you don't exactly know which way your quarterback is going to find a lane.
And that one there is a product of the wide receiver who's blocking, and you assume that maybe it's right behind you, so you can kind of let go, and then you look, and you hold
go
it
back
extra.
and get him. But the hold is against Western Beaver, going to knock him back 10 yards to the 43, going to bring up a 1st down and 20. For Beaver, and yes, you are right, is Atkins in there. Jaylon Atkins, junior running back, 5'8", $155. Marshall, hands off there to Atkins. Tries to go to the outside. It's not going to work.
Just be smart
as
here.
Daylon Curie is in there to get him stopped, along with Anthony Barbario. Another loss on the play, so that 1st and 20 is going to go a little bit further back. And good news for Western Beaver. Mayo finds his way back out onto the field. So, wow, that is going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. So, at the end of 3 quarters, folks, it's Western Beaver 19, Ellwood City 12. Welcome back, folks, as we start this 4th quarter at a 2nd and 24 for Western Beaver. Ball on the 47-yard line of Ellwood City. Marshall. Davis just throws it down the field. Oh, Mo.
That was weird.
That was Dom Hogue was there.
Yep.
There was about 3 black jerseys.
Well, I'll say it for you, Thad. What's weird about it is the ball hung up on the shoulder of Dom, and when it dropped to the ground, you didn't see it. We had no clue where it was.
I was waiting to
confused.
see who was still running with the ball.
Yeah.
I thought it was just me that didn't see the ball.
It was so confusing.
So
that's big. Stops
boy,
the
that
clock.
holding place really.
That holding play for both teams now
Yep.
caused
now
issues.
It's a 3rd and 24. Western Beaver now, maybe a little bit hurry up, trying to get to Wolverines defense. Here's Marshall. Oh, just misses it. Going to run forward, gets a blocker, going to get the first down and more. Straight up the middle of the field. Good gravy. Gets down to the 6-yard line on a 3rd and 24, Brad. He ran 41 yards. Brought down there by Dom Hogue. He just has a way to make people miss. And I thought the diving Drake Davis was going to get him at the line of scrimmage. Oh. So 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. And right now, the Beavers can just really sit a whole lot better with a two-score lead. And they're 7 yards away from making that happen.
10 seconds.
Handoff, Mayo. Up the middle he goes. 7-yard touchdown for Braden Mayo. For Western Beaver, set up by the 41-yard run from Marshall on a 3rd and 24. And Mayo had plenty of room to get up through there. The score 25-12. Nice drive and a timely drive for the Golden Beavers. And they're going to find themselves with 10 seconds on the play clock. Looks like they're going to go for 2, 7 seconds on the play clock. 3 seconds on the play clock, and they're not aware of how quick they need to be.
And they just wasted a timeout.
And boy,
I hate this.
wow.
Why chase points? Why are we chasing points? Ugh.
Nah, you go for 2 here.
I don't.
You're 13.
Well,
make it a 3-score game.
But you just wasted a timeout.
Why? You don't have to take a timeout every time to do a 2-point conversion. You do. You did waste a timeout.
Because at that point, I might as well just take the 5 yards. And
the thing is we're sitting here and we can hear their assistant coach down there, and he's at 15 seconds. He knew they were going to have to take a timeout. So, timeout by Western Beaver. They're just going to have 1 remaining in this game. Once again, homecoming night. Congratulations to Miss Sydney Woodhead for being homecoming queen, and Jackson Kerr being the homecoming king that was announced yesterday. Stick around, end of the game, folks. We'll have stats and more official out-of-town scores. And here we go, the 2-point conversion now. Marshall under center this time. Big fella in the backfield. Marshall tries the left side and tiptoes into the end zone. You call that a decoy where I live. Nolan Gratera, 6'0", 245, lined up in the backfield, and Marshall just kind of ran around him to make the score 27-12 in favor of the Golden Beavers. We'll take a timeout. Be right back, folks. Welcome back, folks. 27-12. Here's the run up and the kick by Western Beaver, and goes out of bounds. Does the kick. So the Wolverines will be setting up shop. Where is that, Brad? 35-yard line?
Yep.
So the Wolverines offense needs to get something going here.
They're re-kicking.
Well, yeah, you can force them 5. You could force 5.
So
I don't blame Coach Bradley doing that.
Yep. So now re-kicking will be Noah Schweikert. Back to receive is Dom Hogue. And I think Dom DiNucci. 11:09 remaining in this contest. The run up and the kick. This time keeps it in the field of play. Taken there at the 20-yard line. Dom DiNucci up that right side. He's at the 40, 30, 20, 10. Horse collar tackle down at the 5-yard line.
There's flag.
And there's the flag finally comes in, but a great return, Brad. 75 yards for Dom DiNucci. And I don't even know if he was ever touched till he got to the 10-yard line. They had the seam they were looking for. Flag back here. Flag back at the 47-yard line. 2 flags. Well, technically 3 flags on the play.
I've never seen so many flags in my life. This is something else. So now it's going to be probably a hold on Ellwood, and then the horse collar, which will nullify each other, which means the ball will just come back here, and there goes the whole yardage. It's crazy.
So we'll let the officials sort this out. As they got some.
Yeah, it'll be about the 30.
There's the hold.
Yep, and then it's going to go the other way.
Horse collar.
It's crazy.
Penalties offset. Also, we get to do it a 3rd time.
Yep, and that is pure advantage, Western Beaver, because now you don't kick it deep.
Right. Yeah,
It's pure,
yeah.
That's why that rule needs to change, because that is pure advantage, Western Beaver. Because now you can re-kick it. And
right, so
they took time off the clock,
They're
too,
still kicking
so.
off from the 35-yard line.
Right.
From the initial 5-yard penalty.
Mm-hmm.
There's the run-up and the kick. This time, it's taken there by DeLon Curie. Weaves around there and going to get gobbled up at about the 40-yard line. So if you went back to the original kick 3 plays ago, it could have been at the 35, and now it ends up at the 40. But what a shame from that was Dom DiNucci, was it not?
That was, yes.
With that return, and got nullified by the hold. So 1st and 10, Wolverines at the 40-yard line. These kids are out of breath. They just ran 3 kickoff plays.
I'm surprised you're not.
Smiley back to pass. Surveys. Wants to go deep. Got a man down there. It's batted away. Marshall. He is everywhere. Amari Marshall, that is. Dominic Hogue was the intended receiver.
And indirectly, Dom actually had to play some jump ball as the defender.
The pass just needed to be thrown a little bit quicker because Dom had to kind of slow up and gave Marshall a better opportunity.
I like Ellwood going vertical, but they got beaten once on defense. Now they're keying in on it. You got to throw this middle route area. It's got to be 10 to 15
And the other thing
range.
we've not seen really yet tonight is that Dom Hogue slant that he's done the last 2 games.
Yeah, that's what. Yep.
So here we go on a 2nd and 10. Smiley, back to pass. Finds his man, Barberia.
Another
flag
hold.
coming in.
This is insane.
Talk about shooting yourself in the foot.
We're now up to 18 penalties with 6 decline. Well, 7 decline. Sorry. Crazy.
So they'll replay 2nd down. I did not see the official call. I'm assuming holding.
Holding and against Ellwood. Yep.
Against Ellwood. So that's 2nd and 10 now. Is a 2nd and 20. 10:31 remaining. A lot of time here for the Wolverines, down by 15 points. But they can't keep doing things like that. So 3 wideouts to the left. And a timeout.
What in the world?
And that is their final timeout.
Wow. This is...
They only had 10 players on the field.
This is something else.
Just my quick count, I think they were down a player on the field. So they burned one on a 2-point conversion. They burned one on the first play of the 3rd quarter, did they not?
Yeah.
And now you burn one here at the 10-17 mark. So don't forget, we'll have some volleyball next week as the volleyball team will be in action. And, senior night next week, correct?
No, the following Tuesday, Beaver Falls.
No, he was talking football.
Football.
Oh. Well, you said volleyball, so I just assumed.
Yeah, I have to jump around and make sure you're paying attention.
But yes, senior night next week, rival Rivell, Riverside,
and then volleyball
senior night.
That'll probably kick off about 6:15. is because we do band.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah,
It may be
6:15.
6 o'clock. Who
Yeah,
knows?
well, okay, that too. 2nd and 20, ball on the 30-yard line. Smiley, shotgun, finds his man. There's your slant route. Oh, Dom Hogue, and he lost the ball. Wanted to look down that field.
Dom DiNucci is in, kind of hit there late, and I'll also say Dom Hogue was gonna be gone for 30-some yards.
Yep,
And
he
Dom
was looking down the
DiNucci
field.
is
Yeah, he's
getting some help off the field here from Drake.
yeah he is.
He got hit low near the knee.
He crumbled pretty fast
Yes, he
away
did.
from the play. So Cam Hockenberry, a wide receiver, checks in on a 3rd and 20. Ball on the 30-yard line. Boy, you really didn't want to see an empty drive here by the Wolverines, just if nothing more to help maintain that field position.
Yep.
3 wide outs to the right, 1 to the left. Smiley in the shotgun. He goes back to pass. Going to get decked. Gets hit, but it's caught there by Barbario. Zigs and zags. Makes a man miss, and he's going to get taken down at the 45-yard line.
Miley just now got up. He got hit up high in the head.
He had to get decked.
He got
Marshall
decked.
was in there to make the final lick to get Barbario down. And Smiley's upright and walking around.
I will tell you, he got hit up
Oh,
high.
number 44 for Western Beaver, Caden Seymour, really came in there unblocked. So now 4th and 5, you're down by 12, 9:34 remaining. Ball on the 45-yard line of Ellwood City. Big play here for the Wolverines. Sends Dom in motion. Back to pass to Smiley. Up in the pocket, goes down the field. Oh, the fingertips of Dom
That's
Hogue.
the night for the Wolverines.
Yes. Yep.
He had him, and he was gone for a touchdown.
Yep. He had everything. He got behind the defense. He wasn't super deep, Brad. They kind of suckered in the Beaver defense to keep everything in within that 10, 15 yards, and the ball just goes off his fingertips. Ball over on downs in their own territory. That one hurts.
And you know that Western Beaver's pretty darn good, but unfortunately, so far, only 9 minutes left. It's been Ellwood beating themselves.
Yes, it has. Ellwood's not done much offensively, not many first downs. There's a handoff to Mayo. Gets bear hugged and taken down as he falls his way forward. Going to get about 4 yards on that play. Cam Mills kind of just bear hugged him, and Mayo kept driving and took him down. Good to see Grandma Roth here at the game tonight, as she was with the Lucarellis, cheering on Ava for homecoming. But
Kind of hoping for a little dance there. That would have been nice.
yeah, but Grandma Roth, not sure how old she is, but she's not content in the first row. She's got to get up there. She's about 5 steps from the top. So now Marshall going to keep it, bobbles it a little bit, and that impeded him, but he gets around everybody, that left side, and he's going to get horse-collared twice, for crying out loud.
Yep.
And he was going to almost get that first down. They did throw a flag on that, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. That was
They
clearly a
had to.
flag.
Ray Charles could have saw that one.
You're juking and jiving. You just grab whatever you get.
But the problem was he then threw him down via the horse collar. So that was a 2nd and 6. He's going to get almost, but the horse collar tackle is going to be of the 15-yard persuasion. And here we are, setting up shop. Not in the red zone yet. They're going to be at about the 22-yard line. 8:14 and getting that point in the game where the clock is not the Wolverines' friend at this point. So Marshall in that shotgun, 2 wide outs to right, Mayo to his right, immediate right, handoff Mayo, stutter steps, flag, hey, what a big
Hold
surprise.
on. Offensive line there.
There's
I'll
a
come
hold.
back. This has been yellow, pink, flag all night now.
Yes, it has.
This
So
is-
another 10 yards going to come back.
This has been something else. I don't
So-
want to say the last time we've seen these many flags.
So I think it's been a while.
Oh, it's been a year.
What game are you referring to?
What do you think?
I can't think.
Oh, I know. I'll leave it go.
I'm in so much
I'll leave
suspense,
it-
you got to tell me. I won't be able to sleep tonight.
Playoff.
Playoff. Yeah. Now I recall.
Yeah.
Tell,
leave that one.
tell the people who you're
No, I'm leaving that one alone.
All right.
We'll
Go
get
to EC
chewed out.
Wolverines.
We'll get that one. We'll get chewed out on.
First and 20 now. Ball on the 32. Marshall now, he's playing a game clock game. Watching the play clock. Gets down, brings a man in motion. As number 3 tries to go around and
Another
gets
flag.
ridden down there by Dom DiNucci.
And another flag.
As Presley
I just say
was
throw the
trying
flag
to
every
end
time.
around. But you may want to take this because there was about a 5-yard loss on the play.
Yep. If it's against Western Beaver, which it should be.
Yep.
To me, honestly, you decline it and you take the down and the lost yards, and
Yep,
that's what
and that's
Chris
what
Riley
they're
just
gonna,
said.
you're only going to gain. Oh, the ball's all the way back at the
-8.
40-yard line, so
Wow.
you only gain 2 yards.
Man.
So, big number 54 checking in. Noah Tritreka, 6'0", 245.
Haven't seen very often second down in 30s. Not once, but 3 times in a game. And won by both teams.
Yes, yes. So,
We officially have hit the 17 penalty mark with 7 declined or offsetting. So 24 penalties in this game.
and right now Western Beaver's just
Letting it
not
roll.
really doing anything to get about 10 seconds. And Marshall's going to get up there.
And unfortunately for Ellwood, only 2 timeouts. Remember
Yep.
that.
Marshall now
Busted.
misses the
And
handoff.
another hold.
Is there any really? Oh, another
Yep.
flag. You got to be kidding me.
Yep, this is getting ridiculous.
Declan O'Brien there, and I think Mayo went to the right,
And he
and
declined
Marshall
this
thought
one.
he was going to the left.
Although this one you may want to send him back just because of the field position. Plus, last time Marshall had a 3rd and forever, he had 60
Well,
some yard
they
run.
did on a 3rd and 24 it was, ran for 61 yards.
I send him back on this one.
Yep,
Wow, okay.
Coach Bradley
That's
decides
okay.
to decline it.
Yep, that's okay.
So now it's going to be
I'm okay with that.
3rd and 28. So now, but every time there's a penalty, they stop the clock, reset the ball, and it runs.
Ellwood, 15 tackles for loss tonight.
Marshall now, he's going to keep it. Wants to throw it, air it out.
That's another
Declan
hold
O'Brien.
not called. There it is again, another hold.
Still, there's the flag.
Oh, no.
Marshall going the other way, zigs out at P.J. Du Bois.
This-
Marshall ran the whole way across the field, and he's going to get down to the 20-yard line.
And I hope our
All for
players
naught,
are okay.
I'm afraid, because there's a flag back here at the 50-yard line.
And Golo and Declan O'Brien ran into each other. They are back up. Whew, that's what I was afraid of. They
Okay,
ran
I
into
didn't
each
see
other.
that.
They hit knee to knee, and it was like, whew. They did get up, though. 2 flags. Obviously a hold. This will bring this back. And somehow Western Beaver got into, the 7-yard line or something like that.
22.
Was it 22?
Yeah, they got down to the
Well, no.
22.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. Last play. And now they're going to be back beyond the 50.
So they're going to make him.
I got one word. High school sports.
Well,
It's about being disciplined, and unfortunately that has not been the case.
it's disciplined, but Marshall ran 80 yards on that play.
Yeah.
He went from the middle of the field to the side of the field, all the way back to the other side, and down 20 yards. How do you block for that? I'm not trying to make excuses, but
And
so
We play on.
is it got to be? It's 3rd and 31, ball at the 47-yard line.
magically this
It's got to be
drive,
more than 31.
4 plays,
Yes, it is.
minus 8 yards.
It's 3rd and 40. A 3rd and 40. And
Check, no flags.
Mayo.
All right, we're good.
And yes.
No flags.
So now,
Number 9, I believe, with
Yep,
the tackle.
Colton Golo.
so Golo with the tackle on a 3rd and 40. He picked up about 5.
That drive, 5 plays, minus 2 yards.
But time of possession.
Yeah, oh, that's key.
You know, if you're
2 timeouts for Ellwood, and
Beaver,
you're already down to 5 minutes.
Yep.
You take that if you're Western Beaver. Not the way you want to do it, but
right.
you take it. You live to fight another day. And that clock's just going to go right around 5 when this is snapped.
Yep, as they're going to punt the ball.
Yeah, you can hear the coaching staff. You got to be on the line. He is
3,
now officially.
2.
There's a good snap. And low driving kick. But if you're Western Beaver, you'll take it because it goes all the way down to the 15-yard line. So the Wolverines got to make something happen here, and they got to make it happen quick. With 4:48 remaining, don't forget next week, folks, senior night. You got everything: soccer, band, cross country, tennis,
Boys
football,
golf.
boys golf. Get here early.
Penn State football, Michigan football. You did say everything.
You
and the
had
kitchen
to
sink.
bring it up. So let's fill the stands for these seniors.
Absolutely.
And basically, you know, the
Everything else is on the
Wolverines,
road then.
Yeah. So Smiley now, ball on the 15-yard line. Smiley goes back to pass. Finds Dom Hogue on that slant route. Makes a man miss. He's up to the 30. Gets up to the 38-yard line. Pushed out of bounds there by Presley. But a nice run by Dom Hogue. Picks up about
25.
Yep, they're going to officially mark him at the 39-yard line. So Wolverines 27-12. There find themselves down. Don't forget, folks, we'll have all the out-of-town scores and official stats of the game. As now back to pass. Smiley looks under pressure. Going to roll out of the pocket, run his way forward, and wisely goes out of bounds at about the 45.5, 46-yard line. Out of bounds does stop the clock, however.
Taken out there by Carter Marshall, number 22. Just kind of waltzed him out. Good pickup, though.
Yeah.
And stop at the clock. That's key, too. So
I
nice
thought
play
that
by
was-
Smiley. I like that. You take that. 6 yards is okay if nobody's open downfield.
So Moore out over the ball. Hand off to Cureton.
Yeah, that's not what you don't want.
Not going to get the first down and keeps that clock running for Western Beaver. Going to give them maybe really no gain on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 4. Of course, Riverside coming to town, coming across town for the game next week. Big 3rd and 4 play here, ball on the 46-yard line. Smiley back, got some time, gets out of the pocket, throws it out there, and as number 3, Tyler Amicone tried, and he just about got the ball, but a nice defensive play by Ventresca to really knock the ball out of his hands just as Tyler Amicone was able to squeeze it. So 4th and 3 now, Brad. Incomplete pass does stop the clock.
Yeah, this is pretty much your ball game if you do not get this first down.
Yep.
Kind of living on a prayer already. But
Yep. 2 to the left, 2 wideouts to the right. Smiley throws it out there. Finds his man Amicone that time, and that is going to be enough for a first down. Needed 4, got about 6.
taken down by Ventresca, but not after the first down.
So ball just inside Western Beaver territory. They get the clocks, the sticks reset, and quickly to the line and winding that clock. And Wolverines good time, good throws it out there, and a nice out of bounds throw. Kept him in bounds.
Yep.
I think that's the right call as Amicone gets thrown out of bounds. And Drake Davis a little, I don't know if they're slow getting up, just tangled up.
Ventresca with the tackle there again.
So 2nd down and about 6. As Dom DiNucci goes in motion. Smiley now. Back to pass. Finds Dom Hogue on that slant route. Tries to run up the middle. Drops his head and rolls his way forward. Depending upon the spot, I think he is. Yes, he is going to have enough for the first down. As Dom Hogue makes the catch, and they will move the sticks. As Carter Marshall with the stop. So now ball resting on the 38-yard line. Wolverines just under 3 minutes remaining here in this game. Smiley surveys.
Oh, boy.
He gets gobbled up.
Number 44.
Wow, 44. Came from the other side this time. Caden Seymour. He's hit him a couple times pretty hard tonight. And a timeout is going to be taken by Ellwood City. They have one remaining.
That was a loss of 10. Back to the 48. Wow. We knew this was going to be a big game for both teams. You got to give credit to Western Beaver in the second half. They have pretty well kept Ellwood in check. But, again, that I don't want to say it this way, but it's honestly, it's not even Western Beaver. We knew both these teams were scoring points. I think it was going to be a back-and-forth play. Daylon Curry was left open. It could have been an early score in the third quarter. Unfortunately, that comes back to bite Ellwood. Penalties. Now we have officially 18 accepted penalties in the game. Over 70 yards for both teams in this. Almost all of it in the second half, in a sense.
Yeah, there was. I had it written down 5. I think it was like 6 in the first half.
Honestly, it's been Ellwood shooting themselves in the foot because we're looking at that scoreboard. It's only 15.
Yep. And I can say the same for Western Beaver shooting themselves in the foot because they're down their stud running back, but they've had some big plays called back via penalties. Now Smiley throws it out there to Daylon Curry, goes up the sidelines, and they're going to keep him inbounds. He's going to get, well, it was a 3rd and 20.
Mayo with the tackle there after a pickup.
He's going to bring up a 3rd down now in about 9.
It's a good pickup there, and the stoppage of the clock.
Moving forward, Brad, Western Beaver playing Mohawk, New Brighton, and Freedom.
Those are some big games there.
Yes, there is.
Same thing
Smiley
for Ellwood.
On the 3rd and 9, going to try to get out there and gets hit out of bounds by Braden Mayo. He's going to not get enough for the first down. Get some positive. He really didn't gain a lot on that play, did he? Yeah, he did. It was 4th down.
Yeah, he gained about 4. So he split it in half.
4th down and 5, 2:31 remaining.
Again, that's the big thing there. They stopped the clock without using a timeout. And got to get the instructions here from Coach Bradley. Big one again. The number of 4th down plays Ellwood has had this year is insane.
Yeah. It really is, and a lot of 3rd and longs. I think that's what brought on so many of the 4th downs. Big one here, 4th and 5. Smiley back, rolls up in the pocket. He's going to get gobbled up and taken down, and he's going to be short. Gets down to the 30. I'm not sure who hit him. 45?
44.
44. Once again, he's made some big hits. I tell you what. Tyler Smiley is going to be seeing number 44 when he closes his eyes to go to sleep tonight and probably feel some of the hits he's been put on. Tyler Smiley's had to play a tough game. He's taken some big hits. But I say it again, Brad, ball over on downs, 2:25 remaining, and Wolverines just one timeout, down by 15.
Here's the nerd stats guy coming out. That 3-yard gain gave Ellwood 200 yards.
Okay.
50 plays, 200 yards. And they've held at Western Beaver pretty well, but 43 plays, 301. And there's your 100-yard difference per game, per se.
Right. So, and that leads you to 15-point difference as well.
243 on the ground. And obviously Western Beaver was averaging more than that.
Right. The officials are coming over to talk to Coach Bradley.
Yeah, they are. This got interesting.
They were talking over there with the Western Beaver coaches for a while.
And this is about what I was going to is this is about the mark on the year. Western Beaver averaged 250 rushing yards per game, so they're right there basically. And Coach Bradley's getting a good talking to. Good conversation.
You normally
here.
don't see conversations last
No.
that long.
And Coach Bradley's usually a very calm and collected dude.
But
he's
he
kind
looks
of pointing
calm out there, but he's
kind of
pointing.
pointing. Something's up. Just kind of direction. You go this way, you go
yep,
that way.
Yep. So here we go. Western Beaver now. Marshall wants to go around that left side. Makes a man miss. This has hold written all over it somewhere.
It's got to be a hold
and
somewhere.
Marshall still going.
No hold call. Wow.
So once again, he ran to the left, the other side of the hash mark, came back to the middle of the field, and zigged and zagged. And on that first down run, got about 7 yards. So it's going to bring up a second down and 3. 2 minutes remaining here in this game. Wolverines with that one timeout.
Yeah, you'll call it on
Western
third
Beaver
down.
in no hurry now to let that clock just milk its way down. It's had to drop about 25 degrees since we got here.
All I hear is get on the ball, get on the line, get on the ball, get on the line. Just the wide receiver keeps moving.
Yes. There's a handoff.
Gonna be short. Snap. No.
I think he's going to
I think
have
he's
it.
going to get enough. Yep.
39.
And that was number 3, Presley, with the carry brought down by O'Brien. That's going to move the sticks with the 22 remaining. And the Golden Beavers now. And a nice crowd coming up Route 60 from Western Beaver here tonight.
There's that 250 mark now, officially 37 carries for 254.
Sawyer Chafee checks into the game, 5'10", 280.
A couple subs here for Ellwood, 70 and 78, that being Condell as well as Trent Dubois.
Yep.
So the Dubois brothers.
So 51 seconds.
Big
left.
package.
5 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, just a
And
kneel down.
They're going to get the kneel down. I think they're going to have to do one more.
Yep, just one more.
Nope, I think that's going to be it. There's a second differential.
Yep, there you go.
And it's on the side of the possession. Folks, game here tonight. They are going to do one more kneel down, and there it is. Western Beaver is going to continue to be undefeated, and they will go to 7-0, 4-0 in conference play. The Wolverines will go to 3-4, 2-2 in conference play. As we finish out this game here tonight, Western Beaver wins 27-12. On homecoming night, the Wolverines unable to get the victory.
I forgot they have the same fight song.
Yes. Yeah, lots of Notre Dame victory march going
There's
on
so
here tonight.
many.
So,
Almost every other week is a Notre Dame fight song.
right.
All right, folks, what we're going to do is we're going to take a timeout here. We'll wrap things up. We'll get you some final stats from tonight's game, and then we'll wrap things up with a couple out-of-town scores, and we'll go from there. So stay with us, folks, here on Ellwood City Sports. Final score, Western Beaver 27, Ellwood 12. All right, folks, welcome back here. Final score from Helling Stadium, 27-12. Golden Beavers hold Ellwood scoreless for the first time in the second half of a game, just getting those 12 points. On the flip side, Golden Beavers, 2 touchdowns, and they kind of were chasing some points here and there, going for 2-point conversions. Both teams kind of, I don't want to say scrambling, but the kicking duties kind of changed up a little bit there, and in the end, you get that offset point there by both teams, 27-12. On your screen now are the game final stats. Rushing yards, and that was about their average. They averaged about 250 yards per game coming in. Western Beaver hits that 252. Ellwood for the first time had some good offense in the first half, but the running game kind of fell apart. They did get 102 in the end with that last 3-yard scramble by Smiley. Passing yards, 58 for Western Beaver, and again, Ellwood outpassing the opposing team. That's 5 straight weeks now, I believe, of that. 98 passing yards to just 58. Total yards, 310 to 200. Western Beaver kind of been averaging 100 yards per game over their opponent, and there you go. Ellwood does win the turnover battle 2-1, but unfortunately the penalties, 18 total penalties accepted. 8 for 74, 10 for 71. There were 7 official decline penalties, so there were officially 25 total penalties in this game. We got to see the yellow and pink flags a little bit too much tonight. Individual stats here. Richard Cureton, again, that's another game where just he gets the running game going, and then they kind of go away from him. And unfortunately, when you're chasing points, that's the process. You go from running to passing. Richard Cureton finishes with 16 rushes, 77 yards, only about 12 in the second half. Did get a touchdown, 4.8 average. Tyler Smiley, 11 carries for 13. Julian Frisk, 2 for 13. I said his name correct. Yay. 30 carries for 102. That 6.5 or that 4.8 average in the first half dropped to 3.4. Give credit to Western Beaver kind of filling the box there pretty well in the second half. The big one, folks, and he's going to go up on Pittsburgh Post-Gazette for almost getting 200 yards. Amari Marshall, 19 carries, 190, 2 touchdowns, along with 51, a 10 on the dot, 10.0 average per carry. Wyatt Sparbani, unfortunately, with the injury there mid-first half, 4 carries for 60. And Braden Mayo, 8 for 33, 39 carries for 252, all 4 touchdowns, and an average of 6.5. In fact, that went up from 6.2, I believe, in the first half. Passing, Amari Marshall, maybe 2 passes in the second half. We would have to check the stats from the first half. It may have been 0. 5 for 8, 58 yards, and 1 interception. Tyler Smiley, 12 for 20, 98 yards. Unfortunately, 1 interception in the game. Both interceptions resulted in 6 points for the opposing teams. Avon Presley, 3 catches for 29. On the flip side, Dom Hogue, 3 for 36. Anthony Barberi, 2 for 19. Dom Danucci, 2 for 18. Daylon Curry, 2 for 13. Tyler Amicone, 2 for 9. Julian Frisk, I butchered it. 1 for 3, 12 for 98 on the total there. And talking about some tackling, Colton Golo, 8 tackles, 5 for loss. Cameron Mills, 7 tackles, 1 for loss. Declan O'Brien, 7 tackles, 2 for loss. Kind of following a trend here. Drake Davis, 5 tackles, 2 for loss. Anthony Barberio, 4 tackles, 2 for loss. Dom Danucci, 3 tackles, tackle for loss. And Daylon Curry, tackle for loss, as well as P.J. Dubois, tackle for loss. The big difference there in that turnover, the interception return there by Daylon Curry was a big one to help set up the Wolverines going forward. On the flip side, Amari Marshall, he was the man. He's the MVP of the night. He had total 10 tackles, and he also had that interception that kind of stopped the offense, and then gets back on the field and has a big play to get down to the end zone and put up the couple points there by Sparbani. There we go. Aiden Vola with 6, as well as Caden Seymour, number 44, with 6 as well. Some final stats around the area. We got game closing up. It looks like Newcastle, they're going to keep moving up those rankings. They're going to improve to 6-1, a 28-14 lead on Montour, and that's a big one. Montour not as good as last year in terms of the passing game. They run well, so you got to give credit. Newcastle not really known for their running defense. It's more of a passing defense, but they fill the box, and they got a 14-point lead there. Neshannock, a final score here over Burgettstown, 34-7. Unfortunately, it does not happen, but Laurel, the biggest score, probably the biggest score of the week, especially in the small schools, 63-8 over Summit Academy. Late going there, Shenango up 13-12 on Rochester. All right, folks, here we go. The MAC Conference. Now in first place will be Western Beaver at 7-0, 4-0 in section play. In second place, you guessed it, it's Riverside. Riverside defeats Freedom 37-7. They shut out Freeman in the second half. That was a 14-7 game at halftime. Riverside now 4-3. Sitting there in second place with a 3-1 section record. Ellwood City with a loss here, 3-4, now 2-2. Big one ending up here, and we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Mohawk with the lead at New Brighton. That is on the huddle cameras, folks. Check out Lawrence County Sports Network. They posted the link. Last time we checked, with 6 minutes left, Mohawk 35, New Brighton 30. If you're a fan of Ellwood, you're hoping for Mohawk to beat New Brighton, because then it'll keep Ellwood for sure in third place. Because there's another big one at Beaver Falls. Union and Beaver Falls, late going there in the fourth quarter, tied 22 apiece. Again, if you're an Ellwood fan, you're hoping for Union to win that one to keep Beaver Falls back to 2-2. And again, it would put Ellwood officially in third place in section. If Beaver Falls would win, Ellwood would be still in third place, but technically fourth place, with Beaver Falls, Riverside, and Western Beaver leading the charge. There you go.
So with that, it's amazing to me, though. You talk about all those tackle for losses, how many of those players had them, and then their quarterback averaged 10 yards a carry.
And I think that's what it is. You kind of live and die with the legs of Amari Marshall, and whenever you take a loss, you kind of say, well, get back out there and we'll get you 10 yards.
Right. And that's to my point. You can get them stopped, but next play you can come back and beat you, or the big plays. That's and we knew Western Beaver had the ability to do that. We've seen that, and they had some of them big ones here tonight. Moving forward, you certainly think about Sparbaney, seeing him in the arm sling. I'm sure we'll hear in the next day or two what his status is moving forward. I don't care what team you root for. You don't want to see anybody get injured. And when you think about somebody from your conference that looks really good, you want their best players representing you in the playoffs. So speedy recovery to him, and best luck to Western Beaver the rest of the way. Guys, you have anything else?
Yeah.
Yes.
So upcoming events for the Blue Band. Next Saturday, we have the Grove City Homecoming Parade, and then that evening is the Beaver County Invitational at Geneva College.
And that's a very fun evening. They got a lot of bands to go look at down there. And,
New Brighton actually hosted. I was talking to one of the parents at the New Brighton game.
Okay.
She was sitting right beside us, and she said her daughter is like president of the boosters for New Brighton, and she said they've done a lot of work for it.
So get down there, support the Beaver County bands, and you'll see some good ones. And that's a nice stadium to watch a football game. It's a really nice stadium to watch a band in as well. Brad, anything from you?
A couple things tomorrow. Saturday, Tri-County Championship there up at Shenango. You can check that out on Lawrence County Sports Network. Can't guarantee that they're going to have a audio there in terms of commentary, because it is track and field, folks. But check it out there. Give a good like there to Lawrence County Sports Network, even if you have to sit in the office on Saturday morning. No JV tomorrow. Soccer at Avonworth, I think, at noon. And then the homecoming dance then, obviously.
Yep,
and we'll be ready to go next week, next Friday.
We'll be back here.
Senior night and the following volleyball senior night as well.
Yep. And, hey, shout out to Lawrence County Sportsnet. They're beyond the scoreboard that they air Wednesday nights.
Awesome.
That is great. I mean, if you got an hour, if you're driving somewhere, or just you want to check out what's going on with the football teams in Lawrence County, check that out. Dotson, and I just lost his sidekick's name. I apologize. But check it out there. They post that, and they do a great job covering, and be sure to do. I know they give us. I listened. And, they give us credit, so we're going to give them credit for crediting us. So get out there and support them guys, and get all the ins and outs of all the county sports. So on behalf of cameraman Dakota Marshall, Mr. Brad Windhorst, he's a national treasure, and myself, Thad Sturgeon, we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast as much as we've enjoyed presenting it to you. Good night, everybody.